Sean?
Oh, it's different on Mac.
Blue button.
Yeah.
There's
Good.
someone at my door. That never happens. Hold on a second.
Oh, do your thing.
Use the peak hole.
Yeah, for real.
Are we
Hey, how
starting
long-
up? Oh, go ahead, Jameson.
I was gonna say, how long did it take us to travel to Baldur's Gate? Or not Baldur's Gate, the
Give me 1 second. Let's share that.
Yeah, are we in Baldur's Gate right now?
I'll kick off. Yeah, we will be when we start.
Okay. Cool.
We will be. Would have probably taken.
We are back.
It probably would take
What's going
about 3.5 days to get there.
Jameson asked Malcolm how long we've been traveling for, and then I asked him if we are starting Baldur's Gate. Malcolm said that he's going to kick it off in a little bit.
Okay, cool.
just recollection on that conversation with Kil'jaeden and or
Right.
Araka at some point.
Mm-hmm. Well, he would have to. The strange thing is that both you and whether you've called Kil'jaeden or you've called Araka in the past while you were in the forest, neither one of them have shown up, which is strange.
Even if I'm beaming out like Mayday, Mayday, Tiamat in the visions, Tiamat in the signs.
They have. They have not. They have not shown up.
Where's Vic? Can
Tempe and I be teaching Lenore all about the different plants that we come across?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So for anyone who's here right now, if you watch that, Lenore is the young child, somewhere between 7, 8 maybe, that was that no one really knows where she came from. She was being taken care of a woman in Greenest, but for the sake the town does not trust. She does not trust the little girl, as we've seen her display magical powers, natural powers that are destructive, as she killed several of the town members, maybe out of fear. They were being hostile in the moment, turning them heads literally into jack-o'-lanterns, fiery jack-o'-lanterns, within a thought. And so now, but she has kind of been taken under the wing of both Tempe and Ravi as they travel. This is their child right now. And so, yeah, the party will travel those. If you are, probably won't need much of it, but if you are in Legend Keeper, we will be in Baldur's Gate, so there is a map there now. It's very sparse because you haven't, traveled the city much, so it's going to be sparse for a while, and depending on how you all explore it, it can be updated at a later time. I will provide one inspiration to Cheryl for kicking off and sharing some information with us, and providing you, in case you need it, for your next short rest, you have an extra hit die to spend. Must be spent at that short rest. So take note of that. Just finding some fun ways to give things other than inspiration. And I think that's it. All right, then. Before we get started, let me make sure I have things straight on my side of the Dungeon Master screen.
So far in this game, I have not been able to hold on to an inspiration longer than a session. So we'll see how long I can keep this in the back pocket.
We need a short rest right now.
We need a short rest right
now.
Do we take short rests? Do we ever take short rests?
We would have gotten long rests as well, right?
Oh no, you've had long rests.
Yeah, we would have been.
Yeah.
And you've had no encounters in those 3 days.
For once.
That would have stressed you much.
Oh, so easy flicks, stuff that we didn't have to. some bandits we sent running, some goblins who decided not to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I can imagine we're all pretty protective traveling with this kid and an injured Demetria. Well, now you're fine, but you know.
Yo, I
So
don't
now
even
that
have
you're very
friends
aware of
now.
my mortality, now you're very aware of just how mortal I am.
And I really don't mind if you use that kind of leeway with story, where it's like if you guys are maybe sitting around talking about things you've experienced in the past and you want to make up something that wasn't, you know, extremely deadly, or, you know, you can add that event. Like, remember when we fought when those goblins tried to rob us or whatever, we sent them running, you know.
Remember when
I'm
3
completely
goblins in a trench coat tried to rob us?
Yeah. I welcome those kind of contributions to the story, to the world. So yeah. Well, is music too loud? Is this background noise competing? Is
Everything's good.
Okay, good stuff. Let's see. I'm not gonna be a whole lot of craziness in terms of the way we start today's episode, as it's been pretty peaceful over these past few days. What I will add is, though, that you take that the road leading into, if you look into Legend Keeper, you can see the road that leads into the Basilisk Gate on the map of Baldur's Gate, which comes in kind of heading from you're heading west. And you travel down these very just hustle and bustling streets that are kind of muddy streets outside of the city. And so this is Baldur's Gate. Even the most hardened adventurers watch their step here, where lives hold the prices in copper and greed proves deadlier than dragon's fire. Baldur's Gate has a reputation for being a rough place where crime and opportunity walk hand in hand, and where anything can be bought, sold, or seized at sword point. It is something that if something can be given a price, it's for sale somewhere in Baldur's Gate. Drugs and poisons sit on shelves alongside tinctures and remedies. Trade goods from Chult, mechanical wonders from Neverwinter, tomes, and magic from Kalash Mashan. And the most believable counterfeits of each can all be found in the city stalls. You know that the city is ran by the Flaming Fist, a mercenary company paid for by the city to protect its residents, without the barest hint of civil delicacy. And the Watch, the Guardian, they protect that wealthy upper class in the upper city. They are there to serve the patriarchs, the political agents of the government of the city.
Hi.
And so for all its shadows and its dark dealings, Baldur's Gate is not without its light, though. Some of the residents earnestly seek to make the city safer and place banding together to make their own sort of imperfect, effective justice. Maybe that will be you, or maybe you will be the other. As you approach Baldur's Gate by road, you pass through the outer city ramshackle of neighborhoods. Their traffic is hemmed by cook fires and market stalls and the industry's noisy, repugnant, citizens. Here you must leave any sizable mounts or beasts, which you all don't have, of burden. And there are countless stables where you just pay a minor fee as you pass through the gates into the city proper. The guards look over your things and pat you down, something you all probably don't like, but making sure that you are able to pass through. You have some thoughts of just how a few days ago, even though you had that fight with the werewolves, there was that peace and serenity of sitting with Gumi. And there may be moments in your memory of him waving to you from the edge of the forest as you set off. Now here, over those 3 days, another thing that's happened that I didn't really kind of share is that it's gotten cold, it started to snow. And so you're entering a Baldur's that is right now is not in like a storm necessarily, but it's blanketed in the aftermath of heavy snowfall. It is frigid and cold. And so those furs or your leathers, that whatever shawls you have to drop over yourselves are welcome. in these moments, in this weather, and so welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to rocky slopes overlooking the Chianthar River. And from there, as you kind of are in this busy intersection of streets, people kind of nudging you, like you're almost feel like you're in it's an amusement park. Really, if you've ever been in a really heavy urban environment, the smells are all mixing with each other. It's just cold. You see everyone's breath interchanging, fires lit everywhere, buildings like layered, stacked on each other. Just, people closing their little shut-ins. You can see the fires burning and everywhere. People doing magic on the street. I'll turn it over to you all just to role play a bit before I also share some of the wonders that you see around you.
Demetria breathes a little infernal hot breath into her hands to warm them as the streets get colder and colder.
Tempe hates.
I was gonna say, I bet he does.
He is as miserable as you can imagine. And he's super concerned about the little girl, and he's just trying to stay warm and shit.
How do you travel with Lenore, seeing as it's getting cold now? Is anybody do you wear is she traveling on a backpack, or is she just kind of walking along the streets? Have you guys given her extra layers? What does she look like right now if we were to see her? And who's holding her hand? Who's kind of who's the parental figure that's watching her? Because as you enter here, you're like, oh shit, this is dangerous. This does not seem like a place for children at all.
Please tell me we took some time on the road to teach her about stranger danger. That's
yes, I think you have. And she's
on the road. We told her, don't wander off. Don't go with anyone that's not us. Always hold Tempe's hand.
If people are I'm sure Tempe and Demetria are kind of getting that kind of feeling of oh, we need to protect her, but Robbie just has that kind of moment replaying in his mind. But he says nothing.
I think I would. I don't know. I don't know if we can carry her. Can I carry her? Is she small enough to She's 7, so she's not small. She's not an infant child. No, but 7-year-old can get real heavy.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could carry her for 20 minutes and then.
Well, yeah, and then you have to put her down.
Demetria, we could probably
Demetria's
put her
got
on
her.
Demetria's back.
Demetria's got her. Demetria's got her. Piggyback.
Ask if Demetria will hold her and stuff. You know what I mean?
Probably Demetria. If Demetria has a cape or a cloak, she's slinging that so that she's sitting up in the sling, riding along, watching out for the horns every time Demetria turns her head.
Demetria probably runs hot, right?
Yeah, Demetria runs warm. She's infernal. So definitely keeping the sleevelessness. No sleeves are getting on these arms. She'll get gloves, wrist warmers, no sleeves going on. But she absolutely will carry Lenore in the crowd, especially because Demetria was a little girl in a city once. She's
it's almost like she's holding her.
Yeah, she's tucked up, piggyback ride constantly through the streets.
Well, I think first things first, we need to find a place to stay or something.
I'm also sure that Rakalesh's instant jerky of animals spell will also make a dry hide in an instant.
Okay. A dry hide that you're using for what?
Blankets.
And so you all turn a corner, and there this little alleyway full of stalls of night foods and stuff. Even though it's cold, people are still moving. You see off in the distance, maybe up the block, a tavern called Elf Song, and it has a wispy, it's called the Elf Song Tavern, and you notice the sign kind of has a magical spell that animates of an elf singing every 5 minutes. And as you walk through the streets, you are also walking to your right by a bathhouse. People are kind of a public bathhouse. And then on your left, there's clearly a kind of red light district. of hunks, just like, you know, chiseled tiefling men and like half orcs and women of all types and various shapes and sizes, looking out the windows, waving to the crowd below. And there's
covering Lenore's eyes, covering Lenore's eyes.
yeah. And over one
Robbie
of the
slows
awnings,
down for a bit.
Robbie.
And then so as you're kind of walking, there's this like kind of awning, and over that it just says the tiefling tail, and that little magic is like a little tiefling like flicking her tail back and forth like a magical awning. And they kind of eye you as you walk through the streets of this child, and kind of a burly orc woman looks at you, Tempe, and like, "What up, big boy?"
Tempe shyly is like, thank you.
Her corset pushed up really tight. She waves. Tattooed arms.
Instantly averts his eyes to the ground.
Demetria covering Lenore's eyes, looks at this lady, looks at Tempe, looks at the lady, like kind of pats Lenore's face.
She's like,
Tempe nudges Demetria, slaps her to stop looking.
As you kind of pass these people, a kind of rough and tumble, big, bearded, Viking-looking fellow with a tattoo on his face bumps into Rakalesh kind of hard, and he goes kind of, and he kind of, you and him, like he's, you know, you're still taller than he is, even as just him being a human. He goes, "Watch where you're going." I just got a ring in his nose, and he kind of, I don't know if but he kind of like bumps into him kind of hard, but you know, enough for you to notice it, Rakalesh, even though it doesn't do much to you because of how stocky you are. I don't know if the party reacts at all, but he just kind of looks you all up and down. He's got like a mug in his hand, walking through the streets.
Thinking about how many people she knows that Rakalesh has eaten. She gives this dude a really unimpressed look, like.
He kind of looks up at Rakalesh a bit more, realizing what he's bumped into. My apologies. Sorry. Kind of walks off. So you guys are here in the city. These are your first impressions of this place that, even though, you know, you've seen similar places like this in Waterdeep, this is a very different city already.
Baldur's Gate feels like it's bumping. Like Waterdeep.
The music slaps. We're about to get some rain. Like,
everyone's so friendly. We need to find, because we need to contact the Lords of Alliance. Where would we go for like meeting with them? Do they have like a zone? Do they have like a place?
That's where you're gonna have to you might have to ask around a bit. Yeah. So where do you guys maybe plan to go?
Okay.
Can I get a perception check maybe as you look around? Perception checks from everyone.
I love perception.
Just go flirt with the bartender.
Yeah. 25.
Hey, if it works, it works. 18.
How do you get a 25?
I have a plus 11 to my perception check. I see all.
Oh wait,
19.
I got a 23 actually.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
we're doing great. Where's Ohan?
He's gone.
It's okay.
Wishing his mother
25 is pretty
birthday.
good. Yes, he's got it.
25 is pretty good.
25 is pretty good.
Decent, it'll pass.
So I think what you can assume is that I would imagine in almost in any of these places you see both the bathhouse, both the tiefling tail, probably not suitable for the little Lenore or the elfin song, that you could find someone to talk to. You know, all of them probably have liquor flowing, but the elfin song seems to be the place that is probably the most comparable to being like a family-friendly environment.
It's the place most likely to have a kids menu.
It's like the Chuck E. Cheese of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's the thing is, as you approach, what you do feel though about the taverns here in this city is they definitely feel shady. Like you feel like you gotta watch your coin purse, your knives gotta be on. You know, you gotta have your hand on because everyone's walking in. You don't see anybody hanging up in their weapons as they walk in. You see
everybody has their hands in their pockets.
You got a lot of characters that are going in this place that look like you. You know, I'm not to say that you all look a little bit more. You definitely look like you can cause a lot more trouble in terms of the bunch if we were to really eye you up. But you know, there's a lot of shifty eyes, and you know, in this city right now.
I don't like how the way you look at us, Malcolm.
And some of the people kind of looking at you like walking around. The fact that y'all looking around a kid and like, what are y'all doing? Like, who are they? Like, getting some of those kind of looks.
Mm-hmm.
So
it won't be the first time someone told me I shouldn't bring a kid to a bar.
Is this just a tavern or is this also an inn?
We'll say it's also an inn.
Cool. Yeah. Are we staying here?
I think we should at least. I think
depends
we need
on
to
how
ask.
nice they are. Like,
we need to ask the bartender first if they know where we can contact the Lords of Alliance, and then if this is a close enough spot, maybe we should put down for the night.
If Demetria gets the bartender's number, then we stay. If not, then we move on to the next place.
Yeah, obviously.
Can I look for what does the bartender look like?
Robbie's gonna start racing Demetria for the bartender's Waterdeep.
Bartender
got his groove back. Robbie's like, nothing matters anymore.
Bartender is hustle and bustling like a young male fellow. Looks like he's early 20s. He has elvish ears, which lets you know that he might be. They let you know by his features, also by a little bit of stubble, that he's probably half elf. And he's kind of running. He seems like he's having a tough night, as there's a lot of orders. But there's enough. A couple of spots open up where you can kind of slip in, kind of and he's kind of looking like 1 second, and he kind of look like he's kind of new.
Robbie can have this one.
He's too old.
I knew it.
But he's okay, fine. Demetria hands off Lenore to Tempe, so maybe Tempe can stand back from the bar a little bit with Lenore. But
can I go play dice with the girl? I'm a shooter. Do
you gotta shoot craps?
I'm gonna come over here.
Slide in. Post up, elbow on the bar, bicep flexed, hand up, get the guy's attention.
Yeah, so you're going to go play some dice, and so as you find a table where they actually are, there's some games going on. You look over and you can tell. Can I have a history check from you, Tempe?
Me?
Yes.
You're the one who knows everything.
All right, let's see.
Because you said you're going. I'm seeing if you recognize the game or.
Oh yeah, 19.
All right, and so you realize there's a group of couple ladies and some men like on the corner, like throwing these like dice down, and then you can tell they kind of look like a bunch of pirates, right? Like earrings, like rags in their heads, rapiers on their, or scimitars on their hips, and I got you, it, and you realize they are playing a game of Baldur's Bones. And it's a popular game in taverns here, and so when you play this game, each player puts up an ante in the pot. It's how much they're betting, and each rolls 3 dice. Play then proceeds clockwise around the table, with the host of the game going last. And so after you roll the dice, you can choose to stand or to roll. And if a player stands, the next player can take a turn. A player who rolls takes an additional die and rolls it. If the total of their dice exceeds 21, they bust and are out of the game. Otherwise, they can keep rolling additional dice until they either stand or break. And then basically you go around. If you stand, whoever has the highest point, excluding the players who bust, wins. So it's kind of like a little bit of dice poker. So you start
like dice blackjack almost.
Like
right?
Dice blackjack. Yes, that's basically what it is. So yeah, So you're going to play around with them?
Yeah, we're gonna shoot some dice, bro, for sure.
And one of the guys walks away with all his money being gone. And this guy who's, a dark-skinned fellow with like a reddish beard, like he's dyed his like beard. He looks over at you. You ready to play? You're up? How much? High bets. I only do. You gotta at least start 50 gold.
Sure.
Does Tempe have 50 gold?
I've got to have 50 gold though.
Right? We did get paid for that thing.
What is you all's gold? Yeah, I don't necessarily know what you all are.
This is where it matters, and none of us fucking know, I bet, except Cheryl.
Well, the thing is, I knew how much I had, but technically, between like fixing my armor, I actually gave a lot of money away before we left Waterdeep. Technically, I slipped away for a little private mission. I gave a lot of money. Gave a lot of money away to the kids of that guy.
Strippers and cocaine. We get it. We've all been there.
Hookers and blow.
All been there.
No wonder she didn't say yes to that lady. She's already been getting hookers.
I mean, I gotta have at least 50 gold though, right? So sure.
Well, you should have like 1,000 something. I don't know what you brought with you, but
I thought it was I thought it was like 1,600 or something stupid like that. After all, I don't think Tempe spent anything really. So
Amnon. So if you're gonna go play dice, Amnon's gonna be like, "How about Lenore and I go shopping and we get some food?"
No, she's coming with me.
To go throw dice? No.
Yes.
look.
Yes.
Well, first things first, we should.
Do?
Amnon, we should take her outside. We don't have clothing for her. It's cold outside.
Yeah, it's cold outside.
I'll go
We'll
buy her
search
some
for her.
clothes then.
There we go. Good job, Amnon. Stepdad, go get some clothes. We're gonna shoot dice right now.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
I need her. I need her. Watch. She's
Why
good
do you
luck.
need her? She blows heads up.
We don't know that. What are you
I know
doing?
that. Didn't we all see that?
No.
Oh, never mind.
We didn't
sorry.
see it. And
I don't know if he
forget whether
shared it. I
Robbie
don't know if
said
Robbie's.
No. we
Robbie
didn't-
has
we
not
don't-
said anything.
Robbie
Well,
has not
Robbie
said
hasn't
anything, and
shared
we
that.
didn't see it.
Okay.
She's just a cute little kid for me. I'm gonna show her how I gamble. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go shoot dice, and I'm gonna take
No, that's
my
bad
new
influence,
adopted
man.
daughter with me.
I'm gonna turn to Dimitri and be like, "Come on."
She seems to be like looking like, and then
faster-
so
the faster-
Lenore just like clutches Tempe, like looks at Amnon like no, and like looks at him.
I
like,
go, it's okay. I
roll
go,
the
it's okay.
dice.
And I look at Amnon and I go,
And I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Fucking love 2000."
The true test of the Waterdeep family is us battling for this little girl's affection.
that's right.
Yeah. No. All right,
And
I'm not
Tempe's
gonna.
winning.
You gonna
Oh,
just like the
babysit or you gonna play
Beatles.
some dice?
says the,
That's right.
And he's like, so then he rolls his three.
We're rolling.
So he gets a 3, a 6, and a 1, which puts him at 10. And he does not bust. He wants to, well, he decides, so he's like stand, and then I'm probably playing this game wrong, but I know you start with 3d6s, so now you roll your 3d6s, add them up. So he's only at 10, so he's most likely probably going to push because he could, or he could stand there if you roll higher, depending on trying to get closer
Okay.
to 21.
Am I supposed to tell you what I rolled?
Yeah, just so I know, because we would
rolled
see
11.
it there. You rolled
Oh,
11.
it's probably at the pressure that it needs to be at.
Yeah, so then
The worm?
each player rolls 3 dice, add them up.
Oh, it did stop. Oh, this.
The player can choose to stand or roll. So,
Oh, here. Can you turn this way?
Oh, on.
Okay,
you
so
might need
then-
to mute.
oh yeah. So
I
then
just
now,
want to put a disclaimer. I love to
Ugh,
gamble.
I hate-
I actually let
I
another
hate
player
these
die
out-
one
well, I
time
don't
because
know
I
if
was
it's-
gambling.
I'm gonna mute him.
It's about to go down right now. Amnon needs,
All right, I muted
Amnon
him.
needs to mute.
All right, so
I literally let someone die by accident one time because I was gambling in another game. So it's about to go down right now.
so you got an 11. He looks at the die. He goes, "I'm gonna roll." He rolls another d6. His next one is a 6, putting him at 16. So then he will. He has to decide to stand or roll. So he will roll. So he's going to. I think you have to choose right
All right.
after you. So he's going to roll. So now you got to decide: do you stand or do you roll? What are you doing?
I'm gonna roll.
Roll a d6.
I'm rolling right now. I got a 4.
Got a 4, so you're at
So 15.
15. All right. So
And he's at 16 and about to bust, right? Let's just be clear.
yeah. He's at 16. Shit! He rolls a 6. As
know.
you just won 100.
That's
100
right.
gold.
Woo! So I kiss Lenore's head and I don't say anything. I just smile.
So we'll imagine that happens. That game we just played goes on for like several more rounds. Can you roll a d4 for me? Actually, before you roll a d4, how much? Okay, it's fine. What'd you get?
I got a 4.
Okay, and then give me a. Got 4. So then roll that d4. You got a 4. So then roll that d4 again. One more time.
I got a 3.
You got a 3. So I'm gonna round up. So 4 more rounds.
Banging this joint right here. She loves this track.
It reminds me of I listened to Bard covers of like they do like Jolene, they do like all of
That's what this is, right? That's what
yeah.
this is.
It's all Bardcore.
Yeah, Bardcore. That's what.
Yeah. So 300. You're up 300. You've won 300 gold on top of the first. So you're 400 gold.
Wild about it.
Finally, the guy's like, fuck this shit. Yeah. He kind of like they go, you wanna hurt him? And he kind of looks around and looks at Tempe and looks at like kind of the styling of his clothes. And he goes, it's fine. See it later. Kind of grumbling under their breath, walk away. They kind of like. Also, you imagine you also notice that they look at the kid. They're kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna start a fight with this guy.
Good.
And so Lenore's like, hey, like reaching for some of your gold to play with.
I just let her have it. She can play with it. Yeah, we're good. It's not, I don't even care. It's not about the money. It's just about the gambling.
Tempe comes out of the casino with the baby and the Bjorn just holding bundles of hundreds. Just...
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're about to make it rain right now.
Oh man. Back at the bar. Sorry, sir, how can I help you? To Robbie, the kid behind the counter.
Oh fuck!
I thought it was me, but if it's Robbie, that's
sorry, it was Demetria. I thought it was because I heard
I thought you said he was.
I'll let Robbie take this one.
Well, I thought you said he was like 20 something, so I was like, oh, he's a little old.
Oh, I forget Robbie's so young.
Yeah, Robbie's a teenager. I forgot to.
I was trying to. That was me, like being like, oh, he could be 18, 19, but he's still a little bit older than Rob. He's still a little bit older than Rob. He's old enough to work in the bar, down here, even though like this was real medieval.
If anything, Robbie's probably tongue tied. He's probably like,
Demetria's been at this. Demetria's done this. Demetria, it's like watch and learn.
I just dwarfed him. I put him back to 17. I don't know how he's working in this place, but it's medieval.
He's the owner's little brother. He's the owner.
Yeah. His shoulders shrink a bit. He just drops down a bit, a few inches.
Like someone passes in front of the camera and suddenly he's played by a younger actor.
They recast, but they didn't have time to go back and do reshoots.
Take it away, Robbie.
He's using some glamour magic to make himself look older.
Oh.
Even like the other actors are like, whoa!
I like the
like
glamour
an Elvish
magic.
fake ID. He uses a glamour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. I'm feeling.
I like that a lot. So yeah, drinks all around. What do you need?
We were actually wondering if you had any rooms available for tonight.
Oh man, it's really busy right now. Let me go ask the boss. 1 second. Let me go look at this. He kind of runs over behind, like out of sight for a second. How many do you need?
Do you think we're good with 2?
2? How many of you are there?
6? 5? Wait, how many? Wait, I
can fit 5 in this one room.
5 and a baby.
Yeah, 5 and a baby.
2 rooms in this. We actually have 2. 1 second. They're a little pricey though. They're kind of like our suites that no one ever buys because they're kind of expensive.
That's okay. How much are they?
They go for 10 a night, 10 gold.
Oh. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
Oh wow! No one ever takes those. Baller alert!
Meanwhile, behind us, Timothy is throwing gold up in the air, gold shower.
And they have these. They find these rooms, these 2 rooms that are like adjacent to each other with like an adjoining door that they unlock, that overlook just the dirty, grimy streets, like Mardi Gras style, Baldur's Gate that's going on down below. They all take you back up there. You're able to like put your things down, and so yeah, all this is happening while he's like taking you. He ends up getting relieved by an older fellow to run the bar. Yeah, well, what are you guys in town for?
We're here on business, actually. We're members of the Lord's Alliance, so we're hoping to try and make a contact with the base here. I suppose you know where that might be.
You all are fancy. We there's no major office here. You might have to, if you're looking to speak with someone about Lord's Alliance, you probably have to go to the Flaming Fist or the City Guard, one of their stations. There's one about a few blocks away, that a Flaming Fist patrol station. They could point you in the right direction, because Lord's Alliance there's no like, there's really no office.
Correct me on this. Flaming Fist, aren't they a gang that runs the joint?
They've recently been appointed and given badges, so I mean, they're not the nicest of fellows, but they keep the law.
Most gang members aren't.
They're kind of like...
How about, because Harpers aren't, as me asking Malcolm, Harpers aren't like a public-facing organization anyway. They're more like shifty in the shadows. Lords of the Alliance would have like I have a Lords of the Alliance badge. Who do I talk to? So he's like, so what he kind of explains is that recently the Flaming Fists have kind of come to a risen position, and so while the upper watch, the city watch, they pretty much have the Flaming Fist policing the lower levels of the city, and that's where they're hit and miss. They're like cops. They can be completely grimy and ass backwards, or they can be upstanding, lawful, folks. Sorry, I just realized what song was playing.
Yeah. And I'm letting them rip randomly, so I don't even know it. But I got no.
Okay, Flaming Fist, possibly. Guards.
But they would know all the different factions of the city, and they would be able to point you to a Lord's Alliance who could help you.
Okay. This is a question for Malcolm. What was the name of our Harper Connect dude?
That guy was... Mert. Yes.
Mert. I don't suppose anyone remembers what Mert told us about himself if we needed to contact him or anyone else. We don't have we haven't really been Harpers, so...
Who can ever
Lords of Alliance are, pretty fancy. Like I said, it's just because, I don't know, if you ask me, Baldur's is kind of, not as, we don't get as many upstanding heroes like the Lords of the Alliance here, but I know there's some representatives. I think they just typically, it's more hoops to jump through to get to them. But, or you could, if you don't want to, if you're worried about the Flaming Fist, you can go to one of the upper city gates and talk to a city guard.
Okay.
That might be the best way to go.
I mean,
yeah.
I could draw you a map.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, we have Legend Keeper.
Sponsored by Legend Keeper. Funny you should ask. Now it's time for our paid.
He looks over at Ravi and he's like, "So, you're Lords of the Alliance too? Like at your age?"
Yeah, it's kind of a whole thing.
Like, I grew up on the outside the gates, and there's no way. I've never seen a hero as young as you. Kind of cool.
Thanks.
Do you have like a badge or something that they gave you?
Oh yeah. And he's gonna pull out his badge.
Demetria positions herself behind this kid, and she's
That's really cool. Wow.
And Ravi.
I'm gonna telepathically just whisper to Robbie's mind, see if you can get any information from him, like where we can go and ask.
Fully not listening. Very sorry.
Wow. I mean, how are you liking? I know it's early, but what do you think about the city so far? I know you've only come through the Basilisk Gate.
It's pretty cool from what we've seen so far, but I don't know, do you know any cool places to visit? Or
I want a straight charisma check from
Oh
Robbie.
God.
Can we say Demetria
Nat 20.
is giving?
I was about to see if I could help.
I was
He's
gonna offer
drawing.
to help
So
you, but
with the nat
that's
20,
my
he's
son.
he's drawing the map to where to go to the guard, and then he like he kind of turns it back over to you. He goes, I know some of the nicer places that you can go. It's not as grimy. There's a lot of wonders to see in Baldur's. It's not all so bad. And he folds up he goes, and the tail end of it, you can see that like there's his name on it. His name is Steph, and like there's a like in like the times he works and when he gets off.
Holy shit!
You're behind him like.
Yeah, maybe you could show me around sometime. I'm Ravi, by the way.
Oh, Steph, nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you. Actually, you all pretty cool. Lords of Alliance and all. Don't cross those paths. But yeah, and I like the jacket. Very cool. Well, I should probably get back to work, but hopefully I've been able to help. You all let me know if there's anything else you need.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And so I imagine you're guys like up in the upper room. You hear his footsteps as he kind of goes back down the stairs into the ruckus of the main den. Tempe's made some money. Lenore's playing with dirty coins, putting them in her mouth.
Stop! No,
I'm joking. She's
Tempe,
like,
you better stop her.
You're traveling with a doctor. It's all right.
Kids are, but and I will say she's 7, like, but she does act a bit younger. She acts a little more adolescent, like she's like learning the world. Like, remember, she doesn't speak, right? She should be clearly speaking at 7, right?
So does Tempe, though. That's the best part. That's why they're getting along. Tempe's like making faces. He putting coins in his mouth, like blowing them out and shit. Like he doesn't give a fuck.
God damn it.
1000%.
You can be dirtier when you got magic in the world, right? You got to cure wounds. Like, what's gonna happen?
Demetria is just constantly
That's exactly
poking.
right.
Single point of land hands. Single point of land hands. Single point of land hands.
We got Demetria here and Amnon. We don't need it. Doesn't matter.
We can go flip cobblestones if we wanted to.
So, yeah.
Whenever I'm gonna add in that whenever Tempe starts to do a funny face, I'm gonna use my magic to make like little bunny ears come up or little sparks come down from him, just to humor the girl a little bit more.
All right, you have made enough, and also for Ravi meeting that NPC and making a friend, you gain 1 inspiration as well from the interaction.
Hell yeah.
So it sounds like our best bet is, or it sounds like the one we were most interested in was skipping the Flaming Fists and heading to a gate to like the upper city and trying to talk to the actual guards there.
Yeah, trying to get
this joint
to
seems
the-
nice, but I think we want to talk to actual guards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they would head towards.
Once we sleep for the night.
Once they sleep. Okay, so they're gonna. So the party takes a good rest, and I imagine, I don't know if there's anything else that they want to share before they, wake up to that next morning. But I imagine for a while, even in a noisy city like this, it is probably really nice to get to sleep just in a bed and not out in the cold.
Even though we hear the
just kind of going
of all of the places close to us.
You wake up to it and it still feels like there's like still a crowd outside and like this, but the morning's a little bit quieter. It was like a few hours in the morning as you wake up, crack of dawn, when the music's not running. The crowd is maybe a bit smaller, and not as people do sleep at some point, but it never really rests. There's still a few people in the tap room. Those people that kind of like hung over and still there at like 5 a.m. And this tavern never closes, so it's kind of you guys are kind of like in like the Vegas like district of Baldur's. How early do you plan to head out to head over to see the guards? Any other things that they want to do? You guys are seeing the city. You guys just guide me what we're doing.
While we're going, probably buy warm clothes for Lenore.
First things first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to go shopping.
Yes. Question: how many nights did we buy at the inn? Just one?
I think we only got the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much was it per?
So then the next morning, there are a couple rooms open up, but it's because it's kind of a suite. It's basically, which 10 gold a night would be that's a shit ton of money.
We're in the presidential and the vice presidential.
Yeah. And it's not, and what's funny is it's actually not as nice. It's like getting a $500 room at like a Motel 6, but it's the biggest one they got, and like, it's like the inflation prices, right?
Hey, Malcolm, can Amnon go shopping for some magical items if there's time?
If that's what, you want to go do.
I don't know how much time you want to put into that. He's looking just for like.
Does the rest of the party want to go shop? What is he looking for?
Okay, for himself. He's looking for some magical studded armor and magical shield.
Okay.
And
what do you mean magically studded armor?
Oh, just like a plus.
Oh, you mean a +1 magical armor? Okay.
Just a +1 armor, yeah.
Okay.
I want to try and free up my infusions.
So that's, like I said, anything you can find anything in Baldur's. It doesn't mean you will find it just because you don't know the city as well. And when you're the more magical things you look for, the more like kind of people or the right cart you gotta place you gotta go to. It's kind of like in LA or in any other place where you're looking for that. Oh, I know a place to go. You gotta know somebody. So if he's looking for those two very specific things, first I would like him to give me because usually what I do is there's a certain amount of you can roll a dice and get a nat 20, but there's still a percentage of you finding this thing, especially in this one territory. So I'll know that. I want you to roll me a D100, so a percentile dice, and I'm going to go off that. Then I'm going to ask you for an investigation roll.
I got a 22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 22. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you this right now. Typically, so going forward, if you understand, when I ask you for a percentile roll, usually lower is better, because usually what I'm usually doing is saying there's a 10% chance or there's a 15% chance you find this thing. So 22 is pretty good. So now I want an investigation check. That what your 22 says is that there's may not be both things you want, but at least one of the things you want might be somewhere in the vicinity.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh shit! All right. Good.
I have a really high investigation, so I was like,
if only you were worse at investigation, Amnon.
Well, I mean, I can imagine that because
granular.
Amnon's charm is really high. He hasn't been able to really use it, but I can imagine he's just let me see, he's just intimidating or inciting his way through and investigating his way through. Those are his best skills.
You find yourself at a little stall. You keep going to all these weaponry stalls, and the party's like, we gotta go, man. At this one point, it's like 2 hours in the morning, and it's like past breakfast. Amnon's still, no, I'm just looking for my shield. I'm looking for this armor. And one of the guys is hears you talking. You've gone to several of them. My friend, come here. You looking for a nice shield, huh? Come. 1 second. He goes, don't come to me. He goes, that guy back there. And there's a little dark alley. And there's a door down there. He will have something good for you. It's
I don't have my post-it note. Insight check.
Sometimes you must trust the darkness in Baldur's Gate to find what you want, my friend.
I trust him.
she's like, we're going.
I'm gonna quickly just turn to Dimitri and be like, what the hell? Really? Well, if she's in, okay, let's go.
I just want this over with.
He's telling the truth, Amnon. He's telling the truth.
You find this shop, and as you walk in, there is a slender fellow kind of sitting there are no windows to this place. There are weapons all around the room, and there's a fireplace, and he's smoking a cigar. It's like 9 a.m. And he looks over at you, jet black hair that goes all the way down his back, frivolly like white, and he's got gloves on. Can I help you?
Well, I heard that you've got a good shield and maybe some armor.
I'm all out of really good armor right now, but I did have a shield. I got a few shields. You looking for a run of the mill? You looking for something kind of nice?
I'm looking for something kind of nice.
Okay. 1 second. He goes, I don't do choices. You have to trust me. I'll go in the back. I'll bring some out. Take it or leave it. I'll give you the price. I don't negotiate. Is that fair?
I'm gonna turn to Demetra and be like, sure.
And I'm not an asshole about my prices. I choose them based on what I think they're worth, and also what I think you can afford. So, 1 second. Goes in the back, closes this little door. Hear him rummaging around. Comes out, and he's got the shield on his arm. And he puts on it. It's a round shield. Doesn't cover much of the body, but you slip your hand in it. It's kind of bronzed over. It's a bronze shield, almost like it kind of feels like it could be, Greek in terms of style more than medieval. And it has this, as you look at it, inscribed over it, the kind of religious symbol. Can I have a advantage history check from you, Amnon?
Sure.
I love this dude's look. I love this dude's situation.
The highest I got is an 8.
Okay. Give me 1 second here. As you look over it, it's got some kind of like strange like carvings of could be maybe a god on it, and it's kind of like this fire and forge imagery, and then like a hammer of a smithman, like crossed over is like the symbol on it. And he goes, yeah, I've been keeping this one for a while. I like to speak to my weapons and armor, and they tell me who to sell it to. This one says it goes to you, and it says it goes for 75 gold.
Do you know what the symbol on the front means?
And you get touching it, you get kind of like this weird feeling that lets you know meta wise it's a +1 shield.
Maybe if I tip you another 5 gold.
What are you asking him again?
Oh, if he knows what the insignia on the front means.
That's you got to know your gods, man. That's good old Onatar, god of the forge.
Onatar.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I travel Sword Coast, find little things I like, very particular about armor, and yeah, Tiefling made that one for me, or at least I bought it off of him. It was made for me. That's the way I look at it.
Weirdly, it fits really nicely.
It does. I know good crafter when I see one.
I'm gonna remember you. I'm gonna come back. If you happen to hear some studded armor that is whispering for a new owner, go ahead and hold that for me sometime. And I'm gonna turn to Demetra and be like, Demetra, this is nice. Maybe you, Robbie, anybody else?
I've got my shield, Doc. You know that, so.
Yeah, and I have enough things talking to me.
Tempe?
Actually,
He just wants to know if there's any nice sweaters for Lenore.
Sweater. Look at all this metal, man. Do I look like a sweater salesman? He's like,
You have chainmail for a kid?
it's gonna weigh the little one down. I don't. Give me a D100.
Tempe's like pushing Robbie, and Dimitri's like, we gotta go someplace.
We have places to go.
I
What's
do-
this dude's name?
Then we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna be like, all right, never mind.
Can I kind of
Does
do
the
wanna
child want a
ask,
knife? I can give him a knife.
No, not. He's like slaps Rakalesh's hand.
No, I was making a joke as the shopkeeper. That was
I'd sell a
knives.
kid. I'll sell you a knife. I don't care what you do with the knives. I don't care if you give them to 80 kids. If you want 80 knives, you want to make a little army of orphans? Sure.
I definitely like this guy, but we're not giving him a knife.
We already have enough NPCs.
Yeah, we got enough NPCs. This
What is
guy
his
is
name
definitely
again?
like me in real life, though.
This is remember they recast Kildren. This is Kildren's. They get Kildren's actor back
Yeah.
because of the backlash.
That's exactly right.
Do you have any protective cloaks?
Cloak. You're gonna have to go to the garment district. All you guys are starting to ask now.
Garment district. I'm
Garment
there. Goodbye, sir.
We are there. Tempe gets super excited when he hears Garment District.
Let's go.
Well, you all come back now. Just I'll be here. No need. I don't have a card or anything, but Dalar is the name, and there's no sign. There's no nothing, and he just kind of sees you all out. And you get the feeling like when you meet someone who might be like as high level or higher than you all in terms of his like ability, even though he's not showing me, he kind of just exudes that.
Feels like a waste of a divine sense, but just in case, can I divine sense this jabroni? Really,
Sure.
just to check some things off the list.
You get a very kind of neutral vibe. Not good, not bad. Maybe in the past done some bad. He's also probably done a lot of good. Maybe he's up to the high, maybe the stuff wherever he's from has been up to the highest bidder. You get very roguish qualities from him.
I like
Rogue.
Malcolm, I'm pretty sure you can't base characters off us. Like that's not
Copyright infringement.
copyright infringement.
Can I
I
pull
might
out-
tell you later who this character's based on, but he is based. I literally am using some inspiration.
I can't wait.
Can I give him one of our House of Spirits little business cards and be like,
Yeah.
we're having an opening at some point. Come
Oh,
through
yeah.
with your Waterdeep.
I love that Robbie has business cards with us. It's so great.
Like
So
Obias says, it's a good idea to get the word out.
All right.
You got to get the popple or the dot so you could just like.
Did you leave one? But did you leave one with Steph? Did you leave one with Steph?
We have time to talk about that.
Yeah, because there was a time where Steph got off, so you probably got a chance to like hang out and show you some wonders. You could always share that or not
Magic
share it.
carpet
I do think it'd be very funny if it was very, very awkward.
I imagine it was, but
It's awkward where it's like they're like walking, they're like no one's the problem is they're both two dudes who aren't gonna make the first move.
Yeah.
So Robbie goes back to the room and Demetria's like, how was it? How did it go?
I just go and then throw myself on the bed.
Can I have a charisma check, Robbie? From
good.
I'm kind of going into the past again.
2.
That doesn't mean anything of it, but okay, just gave me something to go off of. All right. And so you leave that location. Where to next? Are we heading to go talk to the guards? Are they okay?
If we can pass through this garment district that
I would-
apparently is here,
Yeah.
just to get a cloak for Lenore, just so that I can stop bundling her and we can
And
start.
Tempe could use a couple of scarves too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can
get
find some
Lenore
stuff.
some little mittens.
Yeah, she needs mittens. She needs like a jacket, like a shirling with like the
I imagine a
strokes
scene goes
balls
by
on them.
and they're leaving the garbage, and she looks like the little. What's his name?
Yes,
She looks like
she's
Maggie
like-
from The Simpsons, the little star.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like I'm thinking. What's funny? They probably took it from is Christmas
A
Story.
Christmas story.
Oh,
Yeah,
Christmas
Christmas
Story where he's all
Story.
bundled
Brother
up.
can't put his hands down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Lenore. Meanwhile, she's
There's
like,
there's a little pom pom on her hat. It's very adorable.
She needs the pom pom 1000%.
Please.
Okay, and so
well, now we all need to get character out of our winter outfits. Now we all need.
What is everyone wearing now that they've gone? And if you got an outfit, give me a gold coin. Reduce a gold coin for your new outfit.
Well, I do want to see. I do want to see if anyone has like a cloak of protection on them.
Okay, give me a DM100.
Okay, DM100.
Mitra buys one of those like 1970s like long sort of like fitted top leather dusters with the fur on the collar to go over the plate.
Might be so you do not find anything no matter how good you look around. If you said 4?
4.
Yeah, you're not able to find anything. Actually no, sorry. A 4 would be super low. So no, you would. I'm tripping. I'm going by my own rules. So because I was thinking about the D20. So now give me that 4 is actually good. That means it is in the section. Give me an investigation check.
3. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
That's my son. That's my boy.
So you said a 1 on the second one? All right. So it's not meant to be. You feel like you're so close, but
I see someone wearing it as they pass by.
Like someone just bought one, and like you go to the same stall, and they're like, "That is my last one. No, I don't have any more." Like and they tell you, "Oh, you check back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Check back weeks."
Tempe's literally wearing like a red leather coat.
Yeah,
it looks exactly like his armor, except there's like fur. There's like fur poking out the neck, the hands, and like at the where the boots. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like fur lined leather. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
It can't be like a coat because he can't fight in a coat. So it has to be something that looks like his leathers, but has like fur poking out of it all over.
Like those like the Sherpa lined, like kind of trucker jacket style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Does he have to? How many jacket like leather goods shops does he take us through trying to find the perfect shade of red, or is he cool with it being 1 or 2 tones off from the armor?
Quite a lot. No, it has to be legit. So there's quite a few leather tanneries that he has to go through.
Like holding them up to himself.
Yeah.
So as you all are kind of walking and making your way through the streets, the amount of people, because you're kind of leaving the Basilisk Gate in that area where like all the tourists first come into the city, where everyone is kind of staying at, and you start to kind of go deeper because you're actually going to this this guard shack that you're going to talk to, and you're on the right path, but the streets get a little bit more spread out. There aren't as many people around, and it goes from you're seeing 2 or 4 people and a couple of merchants to nobody, and then it's not even really an alley. It's this lonely open street, and they're basically where the river runs through Baldur's Gate. There's these little splinters, and those splinters kind of they've been carved off, almost like Venice, where you like there's these like overarching bridges between this street and that one, these large looming buildings that kind of gargoyles sitting over, and even though it's day, it's like super overcast and almost dreary, almost this kind of that cold feeling of night. And there's this water kind of passing in those little pathways down below. And at that moment, out of the shadows walks a figure, a little small figure, and stands in your path. Clearly a halfling, but hooded and bandana. And then out of another shadow, another small fellow or being, and then another one, and then you hear the loading of crossbows as you look up to the ceiling and look up to the second level of a building and kind of see several trained on you. And the little figure, as all these figures keep stepping out. At this point, there's like 8 to 12 of them, maybe 12, and all standing in different distances, not right up on you. The little fellow says, "Wrong neighborhood, wrong time. You gotta pay the toll. Cough up the gold. You look like you can fight, but groups like you definitely travel with a lot of it."
Demetria, do you think we can get information out of him, or should we just wipe him out?
I don't know. Maybe someone that small doesn't know that much.
That
Demetria like
is
steps forward, shoulders out her mace. This is your last chance to walk away from this situation, friend.
I think this is your last chance to walk away from this situation, friend.
Demetria looks at Amnon like,
yeah. I'm ready, man. I'm gonna
Alright.
look at Tempe and be like, get that kid away.
Demetria looks at like all of the other people gathered around. You know, if you think you're ready to take on Lords of the Alliance, Heroes of Waterdeep.
Well, listen
By all
to that,
means,
guys.
stick
They got
around.
fancy. They got fancy badges.
I'm gonna turn to Tempe and just be, like gesture to him to hand Lenore over to me.
And then suddenly,
When I'm gonna slide Lenore behind me, and as I do, I open my coat from that side, and then when I pass her over this side, I open the coat from that side, revealing my swords.
all right. You got us. Are we doing this the hard way, boss? And you hear this like stepping out of the shadows, and there's this hulking figure. He's like kind of a giant. He's heavily cloaked. And he steps out and he goes, I guess we are. And you can hardly see his face. His skin could be kind of gray. Should be like, this guy should be a giant. And he flings off the cloak and his arms go out. And instead of arms, like here the forms up, what artificer magic or who created this he's got barrels, guns on both hands. They don't spin, they're not Gatlings, but they look like they fire. And then he goes poof, 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 and he just starts letting off shots towards you. And as you look, it looks like the muscles in his skin are so taut that like the bullets are like running through his veins. And we will crash to black there while I set that up as you will roll initiative when we come back and pick up with a good fight.
well, we just did the wrong
What?
thing.
What the motherfuck?
It was this dude. I'm like, at first I was like, well, because we know that
Gun arms.
this is the Storm King's Thunder zone. What the fuck has this city been up to in 10 years that this storm giant guy is around here doing this?
Gun
That is the
arms.
thing you
Is
do
this
notice
what they're
that
doing?
there are
With bullets for blood.
there are signs of like the battle, like that's the city's kind of in disrepair. You can tell for 10 years you can tell that there's like zones that are still in like reconstruction and zones that never really like bounced back. And everyone I think knows that. Everyone knows the story of the giants. They may not know why they attacked, but everybody knows there's been a giant attack here long ago. Now this guy looks giant sized. He may not actually be a giant. Maybe he's a half ogre or ogre, something like that. But that you don't quite really know just yet. But he fires in your direction, so maybe almost like shots start, ringing out, and so we'll just kind of pick up from there. So let's go.
Tempe was really enjoying himself.
We were having such a fun little shopping montage, hanging out with our new
a great coat.
best
He's
friend
very
Daylon.
excited about it. Now we got to fight gun arms.
Gun arms.
Didn't
Very
even have to ask
animated.
how much the toll was. It could have been like 1 gold.
Nah.
It's about the principle.
It's about the principle.
Right,
It's about
we're
we're
approximately.
approximately it's about a principle. We're about, an hour and a half in. It's about time we fought something.
It's about what the people at home want.
Yeah. The people on Twitter are demanding that Storm King's Thunder get to the fighting already. Not Storm King's Thunder, we're Dragonlance now. I'm all confuzzled.
That's the hashtag. Dragonlance get to the fighting already.
Hashtag Storm King's Thunder surprise face.
Hashtag Onatar.
Hashtag Onatar. Hashtag there's my Magnus.
Oh yeah, shield.
Trying to find a good
I
picture of
wanted
it.
to take Lenore because I'm probably gonna go hide, so I could take her with me.
I feel like you should just stay with me because I'm basically gonna be a gunner, encased in darkness. I feel like Amnon would be a good person to have the girl with because he's a far away fighter as well.
Yeah, melee dude.
In melee, I mean, I got an AC of 17, and I'm gonna be. I usually put myself in darkness, and I can fly if I need to, which I probably am preparing to do right now. So that way, I'd fly up darkness and shoot everybody.
Nice. It's so weird. I played my Strahd game on Sunday where I'm a bard. It's all spells. I'm looking at my spell list now, and I'm confused by what I have and what I don't. Like, why do I have these?
Yeah, I have maddening hex now. It looks like
I have counterspell, but I don't think counterspell works on bullets. I don't think that's.
So, where's Robbie taking Lenore?
I just want to get her behind some cover because I'm gonna go hide anyway. So I want to get her out of the frame.
We need to get behind this motherfucker.
Yeah, we need to close with him.
Guns don't shoot backwards. He'd have to turn around. He's a big piece of shit. So we need to get behind him and attack those gun arms.
And there's also
how many of them are there?
From above.
There were 10 to 12. A variety of people on the floor and people with crossbows. So
we need like a map.
That's what Malcolm is setting up right now.
Yeah, well, we should take down the big guy first, I would assume, and then we can go after the crossbow guys last.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
I love the snow on all the sets.
Christmas time.
There's a lot of them.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
I thought you said they weren't Gatling guns. Those look a lot like Gatling guns.
Yeah, those look a lot like Gatling guns. God
Don't make him
damn
change his mind. Don't make him change his mind.
Find the Gatling guns. You're all dead.
Don't like this.
Fuck, where am I gonna hide?
What about that building over there?
Oh.
Can you like run into it? Is that a pumpkin head?
Yeah. I saw that when he was first had us on the streets. My God, where are my good rolls? Oh, I like this music.
Okay, so I'm right here. Over there.
All right, let's see.
I'm being so happy, Cheryl.
I dig this music. What can I say?
How much? Let's see. Let's do a. I'm gonna use a Russian real quick, but let's do let's just do a roll. So what we got?
Ooh, nice.
Whopping 5.
5 for Rakalesh.
I got a 16.
Okay, 16 for.
Got an 11.
So I just need Demetria and Avi, I believe.
I got
21.
a 19.
19 for Demetria.
Also, I need the name of this track because this is great.
It is Odal from Wardruna. Odal is the name of the. Ravi?
21.
Nice. All right. We'll kick this off in like 2 minutes. Or do you guys want to?
Cool. What if I go hide? Ooh, I can go hide by that giant pumpkin head because the people up top probably won't be able to hit me from there.
That's a good point.
So, let's see.
I don't even see where the guys on the top floor are. There those gargoyles are?
I'd have to dash. That's okay.
All right. Ravi, when we do start, when Tippy comes back, you are first. As even though he starts shooting. What I realize, it's almost like you hear the shots going off and like slamming into the stone and wood behind you in this quiet street. This is a waterway. Think of it that way. So you could fall into that. It goes down 10 feet.
Oh shit!
This is a bridge. So that's water, cold, frigid water.
Fuck.
Wait, can you point to where we are? Like, I don't.
Yes, you're kind of like walking over. You're kind of like crossing the bridge. Yeah. Here's Demetria. Here's Ravi. Here is Tempe.
Okay.
And I know it's kind of far. What I'll do is I'll reposition the other camera to get a better shot. But Amnon and Rakalesh, there are two guys that are coming up on your tail behind you. They're the three halflings that approach from the shadows. The rest of the henchmen, the guy with the big gun, and then 4 crossbowmen on the second level.
Fuck. All right, that changes things.
So these are you see the crossbowmen are here.
No, okay. They are up there.
This might be a better. I'm getting from the shot. I'm getting Streets of Rage vibes.
You're right. I see it. Yeah. I'm weird. I still see Battletoads, but
yeah, Battletoads.
Ah, man, I played the shit out of it.
All right. So, Ravi, what do you do?
All right. Well, this isn't what I wanted. But seeing as is there like other buildings on this other side that I would be able to hide at?
On this side?
Yeah.
There's like one like off screen here, and then there's buildings behind you. That is a doorway. So like that is a doorway.
Okay.
That is a
Would
doorway.
I be able to get over there?
There's
with everybody on the
and there's there. So the only other building I think exists across this jump here, this water, and on this side, like see that could be like a, you don't know if it's like a warehouse or something, you know, like none of this stuff leaves. There's no like, this isn't like active businesses, so these seem like they're kind of like closed, and maybe they're in the same area where the giants, you know, there's a lot of like jacked up, it's very run down. You know, it's
I'm just trying to see, would I be able to get back to
like
this
Baldur's
side?
Detroit right now.
I've got a question. And this pertains to Ravi's move. If Ravi goes across this bridge to run into that door there where the dude is standing closest to it on the right,
closest.
Could I use my so this building on the right here? That building. If Ravi were to go that way,
he would contend with this. He would contend with this guy that's standing right there.
But could I use my bonus action to quick toss and throw something at that dude while Ravi to use as like a distraction to while Ravi runs in there or attempts to run in there? Because this is happening like really fast, right? So like if I see Ravi running with Lenore,
that's why I'm going to say no, because your initiative is just too low for it.
Is this an alleyway between these two buildings over here?
This is an alleyway.
Okay, I'd rather just go into that alleyway if possible, and I want to take Lenore with me.
All right, so Ravi will say Lenore was with him. So 30 gets you like 10 feet into that alleyway. I'll remove you, but like you're pretty much like 10 feet into that. You just go running past your friends.
Before I go in there, am I 60 feet away from this gunner person?
You are only about 30 feet away from him, 40 feet away from him.
And that I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him first.
Okay. Give me a second for him to make his
Wisdom save 15.
Save. All right. Got a 19.
Fuck. All right. Well, I'm gonna take her and run off.
So Ravi runs. We don't want the kid. We just want some gold. And as he runs away, Ravi. So you tried to hold person. It doesn't stick on the big guy. That is when These are the 1, 2. Let me see the one. Okay, so not the shooters. The ones on the ground are able to move in. So they dash in. They just move into about there. This guy moves in 30 to moves in on Demetria. This one moves in on Demetria. This one right here, kind of like is coming out of the sewers, sliding the grate, jumps out there. This guy's attacking Rakalesh, and not on Rakalesh. So let's see what they get. Actually, I just realized of all things and all nights, I didn't pull out my dice. I was rolling on D&D Beyond is rolling too slow. So I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I need to grab dice. I know, terrible on me.
For once, it's not us, but
Can we kick Malcolm out so he can't hear what we're saying? That would be amazing.
Malcolm, don't listen. Do I hear question? Do I hold person, or do I try and hold person gunner guy, or do I try and handle some of the volume that's happening around me and Tempe?
I'm gonna try to give them gold.
You're gonna try and give them gold.
Well, I was planning on Misty stepping and then activating my darkness either on the big gunner or the crossbow guys on the top.
What if you go up to the crossbow guys and you just push them off?
Well, I have the force cannon, so that was kind of my plan. But I wanted
there you go.
Darkness first.
I feel like we shouldn't fight 40 guys with a kid.
The kid's gone. The kid's with Ravi.
I think this is a bad idea. This feels really bad, man.
What's your initiative level? What's your initiative? Not level. What's your initiative?
It's not very high. It was a 16. I think.
Okay. Is there anyone ahead of you?
My initiative is 5. So
yeah, and I have 6.
Okay, so that means you go after me.
Yeah.
So one guy.
You're right, because Dimitri here. I know what I'm gonna do.
Rakalesh. This one attacks Demetria. That doesn't hit, and they're attacking twice. Oh shit! They're attacking twice each. Second guy attacking Demetria. A dirty 20 hit Demetria? Nope. Third guy. 22.
If it meets, it beats. The 22 does hit.
Yep, and the 21 misses. Gee, she's a 22. What have I done? Okay, so she was get hit once. She will take 6 points of slashing damage. And so all those guys, so 6 guys just attack you, and they're only able to like barely connect with Demetria as all those kind of like thugs just go rushing in. Demetria, it's your turn.
As that guy slashes at her, kind of like cutting into where the armor joints all meet, she's gonna turn towards him, and flames start to like flicker out of her mouth and like in the depths of her eyes as she considers casting Hellish Rebuke, but then she doesn't because she is trying to. She started this fight. She realized that she's trying to not start so many fights anymore because that was a bad thing that she did. So instead, she is going to look at these guys approaching her. And she's going to make eye contact with whoever it was talking. Who is the halfling with the mouth?
The little guy right here. The mouth. Right That's there. The mouth.
She's going to look at the little guy, and she's going to use divine, or she's going to use her divine thing that gives her +5 to persuasion. And she's going to say, all right. How much gold?
Interesting. And so this is what I am going to, because this is all happening, these guys are rushing in. He hasn't rushed in yet, so there is this opportunity. It's one of those things where like he has to, even if you convince him, he has to be able to call a halt before those other arrows go out, before his friend can. And you realize the fact that none of you are shot right now, it could just be that the guy who's blasting with the big guns is kind of shooting like above your heads, for like fear. Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check. Don't mind if I do. With a +5, I'm going to use my inspiration. That was nice while it lasted. Every single time. Oh, so much better. 24. Oh wait, 24 because I have another bonus.
24.
That's with my other persuasion.
Whoa.
30.
She says,
Hey,
how much gold?
first
How much
30.
gold? Hold. He needs to make a persuasion on his team.
Does he get help from me?
Yes. So give me the rolls. You give me two. I'm rolling for the rest of his team. You give me, and I'll add any modifiers to you, whatever you roll that he has.
15 and an 18. All
right. So 15 and an 18. These are persuasion-based checks. Okay. So and then suddenly he's like, hold your fire! Don't fire those arrows! And there suddenly it's like, and all the guys are like, huh? They like look over, like swinging, like they just after like one of them just cut you, they kind of like step back, and they do it with tact. You realize like these aren't, you've been to some you fought some bumbling idiots in taverns and stuff, and you come across, but these guys don't seem like they're super strong, but at the same time they seem to be organized, and so they kind of step back. All of them, they kind of face covers in like these red rags and hoods and leather armor. They want to pay up. No need to we're reasonable people here in Baldur's Gate. You pay the toll. The toll is simple. It's everything you got.
Why they gotta go and fuck it up?
This is why I kill people. It was
about to be a good thing.
Listen.
Demetria, what were you thinking?
You got. Okay, how about this? You guys look like you might be packing. We got our friends, you got yours, but maybe 200 gold, 100 gold, and you just don't come down the street again.
Demetria.
So they pay us 100 golds and we don't kill them? Is that what happens?
Demetria hangs up the mace and she shoulders the shield and she kind of goes for the coin purse and she starts to walk towards this guy. Does he like wig out? Does he like...
He kind of look, lady, listen. He'll bullet bills right there. He's been shooting above your heads.
Bullet Bill.
Great name.
But Demetria walks up with the coin purse. She only has so much.
Mm-hmm.
But she walks up with the coin purse and she looks him in the eye and she says, what did she say? And she says, how long have you been collecting the toll on this road, friend?
What kind of question is that? What does it matter to you?
Matters that right now you don't realize you're in the middle of a much larger story. Say. You don't really understand what it is we're here in this city to do. And I think that so far as our business here in this city goes, it'll be better for you if you make friends with us. Yeah.
Kind of cryptic. And he kind of
sort of like rolls her shoulders back. She's got like the magic plate armor with the Bahamut symbol, fancy mace, the glowing mace. So when she held it out, it was glowing in magic, and
so suddenly he's looking at her. You could tell he's definitely, you struck enough fear into him. He feels like he's like, and then he looks up. And his eyes get really, like he's looking at you and his eyes glance over and his eyes get really big. Yeah, lady. Whatever you say. You know what? Toll's free today. You know what? We're good. Bullet, Bill. Nothing today. Put the guns away, Bill. He's like kind of shawls back over, like big poncho.
Put them there's hands.
He has no hands, so he just kind of like kind of flips his shoulders, and they kind of like flip back over. They're like kind of attached on like strings. Like, you're right. You definitely are part of a bigger story. We don't want nothing to do with. And as they all start to slip away, who's got the highest passive perception?
I have a perception 21.
Okay.
19.
As these figures begin to like slip away into the darkness, I'll take the 21 of Robbie. It's just crazy that it's 21 is passive. There are along all the rooftops, these snowy rooftops, there are around you, surrounding you, like 20 figures. And they all look like they could be bandits like them, but they all have silver wolf masks on. And one of them stands up and says, "Your presence has been requested. We know you are Lords of the Alliance. You've been telling everyone since you've gotten to town. And so you shall follow us." Yes. And when they begin to like move along the rooftops like ninjas and just like follow paths on the roofs. They never come down, but they expect you to kind of like, and they stop and they look back like, they just like they basically just point to the streets for you to follow the streets while they stay on the roofs.
All right, fine, whatever.
I want to go to the
That
roof.
works though.
You want the roof? You can go to the roof. Yeah.
I'm gonna give Tempe back Lenore, and I'm gonna.
I want to go to the roof. Take this kid.
take care of the baby sister. I'm gonna head
Take
to the
this
roof.
kid. I got turn the world.
I do want to say that, Malcolm. I was just trying to talk him down to 50 gold. I was gonna be like, my next line was going to be like, so friends give us discounts. But I mean, it's fine. I'll take the total win.
You're
I was
good.
willing to give up.
Oh.
And so I imagine that Ravi jumps up there and they're like surprised, they're like, but not too, but they're like, they kind of like watch him as they all move. And it leads you to this part of this district where it's snowy, it's cold. There's a couple broken statues. It's kind of like a little square that never came back. And there's this, there's a tower, and there's these steps leading up to the doorway, and one of the figures drops down as all the others are like jumping around on perches. Master Grey Wolf will see you now. And so the door opens and they walk in this little foyer where it's all these like fine treasures and books, and they kind of this masked wolfed figure leads you up the staircase, like I'd say 3 or 4 stories, until about the 4th story, come to a room, and he kind of looks back and gives a little knock. There's 2 guards there. Come in. And so they creak it open, and there's this like fine, like steady. And there inside, looking out the window at the snow falling, turns, is this handsome, who knows what age, but looks young, drow with his white hair kind of tuft back, and he is dressed like almost like a noble. Come in, and gloved as you approach into the room. I've heard about you. You are Lords of the Alliance, and he has a badge of the Lords of the Alliance on, and he walks over to his desk and like holds it and he throws it on the ding. I'm one too. Holds his hand out. Izariel, nice to meet you. Patriarch here, one of the patriarchs of Baldur's Gate. And I used to be the leader of the 9 Fingers. He winks. Used to be. Well, what? You said you were looking to speak with someone on the... So yeah, you want to give an insight check, Demetria? You wanted to speak with someone.
The thing is, I don't think Demetria would insight check him, because
Yeah.
I want to insight check him, because I know that he's Aramis's shitty older brother. I don't trust that he's actually Lord Alliance, but Demetria would trust him. So I won't roll for it, because that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, you know the thing was, Malcolm, because I knew when you asked for editing permissions on my old Aramis Azariel fan fiction. So I knew that this was coming.
Say like I also want to, but I never do, so I feel like that would just be me metagaming.
Yeah, we're look, you're Lords of the Alliance, we're Lords of the Alliance. We're just looking to pass on some information. We're from Waterdeep. I don't know if you're in contact with the other Lords of Alliance there, but there's a situation going on at a town near here called Greenest. I don't know if you've heard of it at all, or...
I know of Greenest.
Okay. Have you heard at all of Tiamat? The Kisis?
We all know of Tiamat, the children's bedtime stories and such. Something you tell your kids. A devil to be in opposition to Bahamut. Yes, I've heard of her.
Well, welcome to the opposition, because she's making an appearance. And at least, that was like a battalion. How many people were in that army that Cyanrath had? Like a couple hundred people?
Yeah, maybe.
An army, and cultists who worship her, trying to bring her back. They have seized Greenest. They're led by a general named Cyanrath. They've got mages, they've got warriors, and they've got a blue dragon.
This is important information. I am inclined to help you. It's interesting because I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Come with me. And he takes you to like this little side room, and he picks up a lantern, and he cracks the door, and he walks to this small little room. And in there, kind of conspiracy style, are all these like sheets of paper strewn all over the walls. And he goes, "Look at me. I get it. This is Baldur's Gate, but I'm a drow male at that. And I'm a patriarch now. How do you think that happened?" As he hangs the lantern up, he goes, 10 years ago, I beheaded a giant. And it was at that moment, I had never cared about my city so much until that moment. And it was from there that my Grey Wolves were thrust into the spotlight. It was suddenly a political figure. It was nothing they could say about it. I was a hero, similar to you all. Maybe, I don't know what you've done, but you start to get some renown. And now I have a vote, I have a say, but all I could ever think about in these 10 years is, when will the next attack come to Baldur's Gate? Will it be another dragon and more giants? And that blue dragon, it kind of stuck with me. And he starts to like point to, he goes, I started to see things, and he kind of pulls out old tomes. He starts flipping through pages. It's like, this whole thing about Tiamat, it makes sense. It's true. It could be true, right? If there's a Bahamut, there's gotta be an alternative. I always felt like there had to be. And as he kind of waxes on, kind of talking too much, he starts to share a couple of things. He goes, this Tiamat that you speak of, we've always known her to be a fairy tale. But in these tomes that I have found, there are cultists who believe she is real. And in all of these stories, she always needs 5 rim speakers, those who can connect and talk to dragons. In the original text and story, it is 5 masks that she uses to call herself back into the realm of mortals. But I started to think some of these timelines don't add up, and I have a theory that she has somehow changed things. And if she has, people always think it must be the mask, these 5 masks. But what if it was an orb? What if it was a magical item? 5 magical rods. It could be anything. Yeah. And so I think that is, I believe you. And it's all started with the over a week ago, the sound, the birds dropping out of the sky. Did you experience it?
Yeah, that happened in Waterdeep as well.
That, and he shows you a parchment paper with this sketch. That is the Draken horn. And he goes, it is that horn that needs to be blown. That horn signals the coming of Tiamat. And when it is blown, every dragon throughout all of Faerun can hear it. We are not sensitive enough to pick it up, but it spells doom. I am actually one of few Lords of the Alliance who are planning to bring this to the council. A council meeting has been called. They are probably going to think I'm crazy, but it will be back in Waterdeep. I have not gotten word on exactly when. I hope it is sooner the better.
I mean, if they say you're crazy for this, then they're going to think we're crazy too, because I think we definitely want to be there when this happens, if we can be. Because we've been kind of crotch deep in this for the better part of, I don't know, a month. Has it only been a month? Feels like years.
But can you tell me what you since you've left Waterdeep, literally since the Drakhorn, it's only been over a week. So yeah. Please, now that I've shared with you completely, what do you know?
We know that there's a unified effort, combination of followers of, well, more or less unified, as I'm sure you'll understand as I tell you that it's composed of followers of Bahamut and those who serve Asmodeus. Asmodeus wishes to take this Tiamat and imprison her back in the Nine Hells. So far as at least I'm concerned, I can't speak for every follower of Bahamut. I think that's a good idea. So we've been working on, say, developing a device or helping to find the pieces of a device that will collar her and allow her to get dragged back down to the Nine Hells.
So you believe me? You know this is real?
Yeah, I just had the shit beat out of me by one of the chicks who, is sure that she's real. And while I was unconscious, dying, a certain dark lady appeared to me. And, I'm relatively new to this religion business, but, you see the face of the devil, you tend to take it at face value, so to speak.
Gosh. So there are multiple ways to approach this, but you are confirming so many things to me. The Drakhorn truly has been blown. It is signaled that she is coming. The only thing that I know of is what I plan to present to the council in Waterdeep, to the High Lords, is that we must search out. No one knows where this horn was blown from. Based on the text here, looks at the book, the horn is last in the location of a white dragon in the north, in the sea of moving ice. I was going to ask at this council for a group of adventurers that the city was be willing to send. And now you have shown up on my doorstep.
We're kind of in the middle of an ongoing laundry list of stuff, Azariel. Lord Azariel, Patriarch Azariel.
Yeah. Call me what you wish. Grey Wolf.
My man, we're gonna check it back in at Waterdeep. We'll definitely be there for you at this council meeting. But there's a lot of moving parts. I don't know if we can swear to go to the north just yet.
He makes eye contact with the child. What is this flower? Why are you trying? He looks at you. Who is the child?
Child is our kid. No more questions.
Your kid.
My sister.
I would like a deception check because he would like to do a.
Is it a deception to say she's my kid?
He's just wondering. Perception for you can do a deception or persuasion, whichever you.
Deception or persuasion. Okay. Persuasion, deception. My deception is much better.
Huh.
For a 18. 12 plus 6. Good old criminal background.
Okay. People traveling with kids like you in Baldur's Gate is sorry if it raised some suspicion. It just does. You're armed to the teeth.
It's been an eventful week for
She
us.
is quite pale. Your hue of red. It just don't get me wrong. I'm not discriminating. Look at me. I get it. But yes, she is yours. I will say no more. But he kind of like looks at the child again, and he looks and he says, the child is giving me an interesting feeling. And I feel that you may not be telling me everything you know, and that's fine. In Baldur's Gate, I didn't get to where I was at sharing everything with everyone. I've already probably shared with you way too much. But I'll tell you that the past 10 years, I've tried to grow. I hurt a lot of people in my past life, and I'm trying to make amends through what I can contribute in this way. Just know that this new iteration of Tiamat, if she uses masks, like I said, they could be masks. They could be orbs. It could be children or people. Just be careful. As he and the entire time he's saying it, he's looking at Lenore's eyes.
You say that you've done some things in your past?
Yes.
Hurt a lot of people?
Sometimes these days I don't hurt as many people as I have to sign off on hurting people. But I try to make sure they're the ones that deserve the hurting.
Trying to redeem yourself?
Yes. Even though I know the one I want to understand that the most never will. So there are folks out there I wish would understand I am trying.
Demetria seems to be really thinking about that. Demetria seems to digest that for a second, because all of a sudden, Malcolm, you've just made my current character see a lot of herself in the evil older brother of my previous character. So I think that Demetria and Azariel actually are going to get on very well. So she is going to step forward and she's going to very seriously kind of present a hand to him. We're with you. Or at least we're as crazy as you are.
I like it. I will provide whatever aid I can. You say you need to get back to Waterdeep. I plan to take a ship myself and sail the coast. Would you go with me?
If that's the fastest route back, yeah. We came here for contacting the Alliance and making sure that some help got to Greenest. If you can send some of your guys, maybe we're going to go talk to the guard about sending some folk to help out Greenest.
Greenest. I might be able to put in a word for them. The guard will do nothing for them. He just sits down and goes, the guard only take care of the upper class. The Flaming Fist will only patrol the lower city like zookeepers. And so he goes, unfortunately, what if I will put this to you. I have those that might be able to help with Greenest. But I fear that putting those forces towards Greenest might be trying to win a battle when we have a war ahead. we might tip our hand if we send forces now.
Demetria looks to Ravi.
I think he's right. As much as it pains me to say it.
All right, then. If we have to focus on the war, then we have to focus on the war.
Listen, shit gets sad here in Baldur's. It's not always the nicest city. But the way we get past it is we drink our nights away. We enjoy the pleasures, the hedonistic pleasures of the flesh, and we also like to see a good play from time now and then. Would you maybe accompany me to the theater this evening?
Looking at everyone else, how do we feel about?
Yeah, you guys have all been quiet. Amnon's quiet. Tippy's nothing. Right.
As long as we're not showing that weird Tiamat last time.
That weird us getting murdered play.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I think Tempe's just like somber, man. Like he's serious about, he's listening, you know?
Yeah.
Absorbing what's being said.
So it seems that we may have, as soon as I get word back from Waterdeep on the council's dates, we can head out. That's the only reason time would normally be this. I would say we can go now, but I think we should. This time we are in a waiting period. I'm glad that the broad gods have brought you to me. I say spend your time. You can take my invitation to this. I sometimes frequent this theater, but you don't have to go. And I normally go masked because I am probably unwelcome. But I have season passes. I slip into the back. I step out when needed.
I mean, if he's offering, I'm fully gonna metagame. I want to go. We don't have to if we don't want to. But
and so
how long does he think the dates are going to be until we leave?
You'd probably leave in the next day or so.
Okay, that's good. At least as long as it's not too long of a wait.
And a sail back to Waterdeep shouldn't take much time at all. I can get exact numbers on that very soon. Yeah. And so with that, he just kind of like goes, well, he kind of sits there with a smile on his face, like almost like for the moment in 10 years, something he's done has kind of feels like it's right. He pulls out like a fine, goes, whether we deserve a toast for those Lords of Alliance, those who understand, because let's face it, the world is at its darkest. We still must be able to see that light. I take light in my little pleasures, and so he pours same drink you all see before you, and he holds a glass and takes a cheers to you all. You all have been quite quiet, except for Demetrius. So I wonder, he does offer you a place to stay in, like a villa adjacent that he or like in this area, like pretty much in his. It's like adjacent to. It's like a housing for his gray wolves, or you can stay at any of the taverns around the city. And I've only provided a few options, but there's other things that you want to do in Baldur's Gate before you leave. I'll turn this over to you all now to discuss and to share where you want to go from here. But now you kind of have Grey Wolf, where this Azariel seems to be on the same page. For once, there's someone who completely believes in you all.
We love that. We love this. Him. Oh, and it's so cute. There's like a motif because Silverhands believed us. He's also silver. You know, we have
there's this like, yeah.
There's a nice little motif going.
Did he have like a wolf mask, or was like?
No, this dude looks like this guy.
Like
he's a drow, right? He's a drow.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit of meta. This guy is Aramis's brother.
From Storm King.
No,
from Storm
I got
King's
that part,
brother.
but like,
Okay.
did the original dudes wear like wolf masks?
No, they didn't. Not at that time. They didn't. They were kind of like thugs, like a group of, yeah. So I'll tell you what you get the feeling is that he's still entrenched in the underworld, but he's elevated his class to a point where the Nine Fingers status symbol, it's almost like nobody even knows who, like, he's a politician. He's distanced himself from the Nine Fingers, but he probably still runs them. And when people see his Grey Wolves, they don't fuck around. Like, they leave him alone. But now he's also in the government and has a vote in what they say in Baldur Gate. Because he probably came to some kind of fame or hero after killing giants.
Killing Harshnag. Can we please acknowledge that he killed Harshnag? Can we stop just saying it like he beheaded like some random giant?
I have to say that because to him it was a random giant. Yes.
Also, as far as we know, it was some random giant.
And for us, as you know, it was a random giant. So to this group.
The way that you're like Cheryl has a problem with metagaming. Let me just devise this entire situation so that Cheryl has to confront her problem with metagaming character-wise, because the amount of doubt that I
because I remember going like, what if doing that moment, that awful moment, like changed his whole trajectory like that?
And then Aramis, and then he had all that gold from the fucking debt line that I gave him too, so he had a bajillion gold after that as well.
Yep.
Really, I financed him. Really, Aramis financed his first political campaign. Super PAC Aramis.
But you also sense a bit of like sadness in him as well, and like you feel like he's kind of reaching to do this because he's trying to prove something.
Damn.
He misses his brother.
Man, oh man. I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. I'm gonna be writing some fan fiction after this.
So what I'll do, I feel like we're at one of those places here. We still have some gameplay time. So I just want to let this breathe a bit. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. You can decide what we do.
We still have gameplay time because we didn't fight those people. The only reason this is happening now instead of an hour from now is because we got
to figure out like what. Oh boy.
So do you want to go to the play? Do you want to?
I do want to.
Do you want?
I still stand by that it was a good idea we didn't fight, even though we could have.
No, I'm glad you know, Sean. I'm glad you brought that up. That was a good thing because I was so narrow.
Tempe would be stressed the fuck out if we had a fight with
cats
this
yelling at
kid.
me to get let him.
You know what I mean? We're not doing this.
Do you not think you're gonna have to fight with that kid multiple times
we
over?
Are.
You guys decide to take that kid.
Well, here's the thing. Tempe doesn't know
the
what.
Meta.
I know the meta. I know the meta.
The meta in me knows that. Hey, Kitty. The meta in me knows that kid's gonna fucking wreck the first thing that we get into a fight with, for sure. But the problem is like. The non-meta part of me is like, I'm happy that you know what I mean?
I don't want that.
I
like that for the first time this group has found something that has tempered their like they're like blade.
They all have responsibilities now.
Although Tempe had to rally for it though. He had to like fucking plead. Please let's not fuck these people up for 5 minutes.
As soon as she turns 16 though, as soon as she hits Ravi age, that's it.
Fuck everybody up. That's it. With everybody, it's a wrap. Yeah.
Oh man.
Gun arms, Ravi, you should decide to go on the rooftops. That was funny.
I'll be right back. Oh man, good stuff.
He's like, Tempe, hold this.
It's like our 16-year-old son, he loves his little sister. He'll babysit her, but as soon as his friends are going to the skate park, no, not for love or money.
He kicks her in the pool.
Kicks her in the pool.
He kicks her in the pool, bounces. Bug it. It's a good time.
I'm loving us having this kid though. This is surprisingly good and wholesome. Like Tempe taking her to go
Yeah.
Gamble.
I can't wait till she
God.
like completely disintegrates people in front of Tempe and like ruins his life though.
But the thing is,
It's gonna be
us.
so fun.
She could be
It's gonna
disintegrating
be
us.
amazing.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I do want
He
to.
thinks he's got this cute little girl, and then she's gonna like blow people's heads up,
Do
and
we
it's
have?
gonna ruin his life.
Wait. Serious question. Do we remember? Because do we know that Severin has an orb, or is that just what we're remembering from the Tiamat fight? Because when Azariel's talking about them having 5 things, is it going to be that all those 5 things need to match? Like, are there 4 other children now that we have to collect?
Oh God.
Or is like it going to be
I
one
wanna
kid?
collect
One
all
Do you
that
think it's
match,
do you think it's
four?
other kids, or do you think it's a family?
So what I was gonna say,
Ah.
yeah, is like what he's trying to say is, in the original kind of script, it's 5 masks. There's 5 masks that the Rim speakers collect to cast a ritual spell to bring Tiamat into the world. He's saying if there's already been shifts in the things and the idea that she's not real based on his like weird conspiracy theory, if she did change the time, if she did wish, same thing that Kildren was saying, if she did that and she rolled the clock back or she changed the timescape, what if she changed the things to throw everything off? What if that changed the things? Maybe even Tiamat didn't do it, but the things that she's looking
Butterfly
for
effect.
are no longer masks. Maybe they're orbs, maybe they're magic items, maybe they're 5 swords, maybe they're 5 children. So it's
We're
just an idea. It doesn't mean it is. Maybe it is 5 people. Maybe it
God.
is,
One
or
child
maybe it's
for each
not,
of
or maybe
us.
it's not any of that. Maybe that's all
Yeah.
just. Maybe that's
We're
all
gonna-
reaching, and that's conspiracy.
We're gonna change the House of Spirits to Tempe's House of wayward
children.
children.
Yeah. Oh no, for talented youngsters.
We gotta
for
collect all the
talented
kids like
youngsters.
Pokemon.
Tempe's school
Tempe
For
was
talented
young.
toddlers.
And that, since we're taking this break, I have some things that I want, but I do want you all to think about putting it on you, some onus on you to decide what this play is going to be like that they go see.
I really want it to be like, you know that episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender where they go see the play? That's them for like the past seasons, but it's all wrong.
I want y'all to be able to run.
I thought Malcolm was gonna say, all right, here's your time because you're gonna have to improvise this play.
Oh,
Kinda.
I was already
All right,
ready with
cool.
like whoever
I'm playing
Aramis
Aramis.
to play. Whoever
You can do it
Aramis-
however you wish. It might be like they see this. It doesn't have to be, or it might be like, oh, here are the acts to play. But like, what's the story? Like, I want you guys to tell me like, what's the story? What's the play? Because you have other characters and it's their production. So I wonder what they're putting on and what it looks like.
Bahamut has to be the savior though. Bahamut comes in at the end. He's the savior of everybody.
Aramis was running with Bahamut by the end. Remember, he converted. He was down
I
with
know,
it.
that's
He got
what I'm
that
saying.
coin.
Bahamut comes in at the end and is the savior of everybody. It's amazing.
Oh,
Everybody's
I was
wearing
gonna say, Ohan,
platinum.
when you were Ohan, when you were asking about armor, since you got a shield from Magnus, Aramis had that armor that was like the North Korean general covered in medallions. Imagine they pull that out, where it's all these gold medallions of all the shit that we fought during the end of Storm Kings.
That'd be awesome.
Super shiny.
Cheryl,
The
can
guy
we do the?
that
can we-
Aramis. What?
I was gonna say, can we reenact the Aramis falling off the chains?
Oh God, getting nabbed by Ebony. All of our hand holding in that final phase. As I backflip out of the way of a fireball and drag you with me through the air somehow.
Or we could just do the fight with Audrey and just to turn it into a role play.
That's what I was thinking, that the Plane of Fire would be a nice little contained story. Us like traveling when we met those slavers, when we freed them and they went back to the city, and then we were in the Field of Flowers that burned my diary and all that stuff.
Yo, so
also-
much shit happened in that last.
So much shit happened, yeah. But Aramis is played by someone who's 6'4" and buffed and strapped.
It's Demetria.
really fake makeup, fake elf ears to get the look right.
World of Warcraft style elf ears are just overly exaggerated.
yeah. Theatrical elf ears.
God, who's playing?
That's so
Disney?
funny. Azariel has a season pass. That's so fucking funny. It's like getting the brochure with like the year package of like, here's what we're gonna be, here's the dates for the entire year's production line. God, fucking Malcolm. I got an email earlier today. Malcolm wanted to get back onto one of my Azariel Aramis fanfiction documents, And I'm like, I wonder why.
So this is your fault. I see.
It's all me and my fan fiction's fault.
Kenneth is played by just a literal homeless guy. Like, what's the most disheveled person we can find?
No, it'll be like those like whenever there's a early 2000s like Lost, the ladies still look nice. Like he's there, he's clearly like a good looking actor, but they're just like lightly smearing a little bit of dirt on his face. They're just lightly dusting his armor. Everyone gets like a +5 to their base charisma in Aramis's casting. Everyone gets the most idealized version of themselves as their casting.
Ebony's just played by Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She exists in this world now.
It's Penelope Cruz, but it's Cruz spelled like cruise on a ship. She's gonna be another Triton.
So that means Idris Elba's got to play Killjoy.
Yes.
I mean,
yep.
It's got to be Idris Elba. Has to be. Sorry. That's why I exist now. That character.
So I'll do our fan cast of everyone who's, because that would be it's like the bit from Love and Thunder where is that from Love and Thunder? Whatever.
Yeah, it's from Ragnarok and Love and Thunder.
Where this is the episode in the TV show where the 5 minutes of the play we actually get to see are all A-list celebrities, uncredited.
So good.
It's the Avatar episode where they go watch
the Ember Island players. Yeah. They're like, everyone on Twitter is like so excited. They're expecting like the original actors to come back or for the actors to like redo their roles. But no, we've just hired A-listers to do it for us.
It'd be amazing. Oh my God.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
Can't remember that actor's name, but he was in Django Unchained and Glorious Bastards. German guy.
Oh, Christoph Walsh.
There we go.
Whatever his name is.
How the fuck did you get that guy's name so fast? Holy shit.
I don't know where that came from.
That was
his name's just live in there.
Is that
holy shit?
Is that his name? Doc? Because he played the tooth dude, Doc. I don't know his character.
Ohan, how about you?
What about me? I just sat down, sorry.
A-list actor who plays Drax.
Yeah. Who's your A-list? Oh, it's gotta be Vin Diesel, right? I mean, Vin Diesel's Drax. It's gotta be. Right.
No.
Wait, who's Aramis?
I just came in on this. What were we doing? Actors of who the?
Yes,
the A-listers who play our characters.
So who's gonna play Ebony?
Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz. Idris Elba is gonna play Killjoy.
Idris Elba's Killjoy. Okay, I can hear that voice being Killjoy. Yes, for sure.
Who's Aramis?
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine
with a very bad black wig and big ears. No, wait, would it be funny? Wait, because I tried to do that Aussie accent for him. What if it was Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth?
The most un-Aramis. Aramis cast this guy. Aramis is like casting call. Super huge, buff, strong.
Yeah, I never imagine being that big, that cut.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
what's so funny is I literally see when I think of Aramis, I see Loki, but that's interesting to I see more of this slender features. But
yeah, because that's the accurate person.
Yes, it's like who you want.
But if Aramis is in charge and Aramis is the writer and he owns the theater.
Yes, that's who's playing him. I got it.
What if we all chose comedians?
Choose comedians.
That would be so.
God, I don't know enough comedians.
Oh man, that'd be hard.
Who?
If we all chose comedians to play.
Oh, if we all chose comedians, that might be tougher. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be good.
Yeah, but this is because Malcolm, have you ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
This is going to be the Ember Island players episode. This is going to be Aramis lying about how brave and wonderful we all were.
The roles are going to be reversed.
That's what I want to see. I am excited. I'm excited to see the play that they put on.
My kid is sitting here 3 feet away. She's like, I remember that episode.
That's awesome.
She's wild about the episode right now.
All right, so
wait, we didn't hear Amnon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't hear him. No, I'm gonna take this kid to bed real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, do your thing.
Oh, wait, no, Vin Diesel, right? Vin Diesel.
For that was for Drax though, wasn't it?
For Drax,
Yeah, for Drax.
I guess so, but man,
Or do you have someone else in mind?
No, I can't think of anything. I don't.
No, what's his face? Who plays Khal Drogo? That dude.
Oh,
Aquaman. Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can see him like hard drinking Drax in his prime when we were in the Plane of Fire marching
Yeah.
around, not getting burned by shit because he's a red dragonborn.
Yeah, I was also thinking like The Rock, like really drunk.
That would also be good. The Rock would also be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like The Rock, but really drunk. You know, so he's like really loose. You know.
All right, celebrities out there, if you heard your name, contact us.
There you go. Right.
Penelope Cruz, if you're watching.
If you're watching, we know you're watching.
What did
We know.
Rackalish? What did Jameson say?
Dwayne.
Oh, he chose Christoph Waltz for Kenneth.
Okay. Yeah.
I kind of want to try and find a serious Aramis now, but the unserious Aramis answer is Chris Hemsworth.
Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, you know what? That's actually a good one. Timothy Chalamet is a good Aramis. A little dude, just a little skinny, little sharp-featured little boy. The final answer: Timothy Chalamet, seriously, but because Aramis is also Aramis, he's gonna be cast. Chris Hemsworth is himself.
Ebony would not help either. Ebony would be like, "No, he's fine. Chris Hemsworth is a perfect choice."
Like her ghost sitting next to him on the bench as he's like asking like, which of these guys should I pick? And on one hand, it's a portrait that just looks like him. Like Timothy Chalamet showed up to the casting in purple. It looks like Aramis. Or this guy, and it's like a oiled up, like shirtless Chris Hemsworth. I see myself in both. No, I see myself in both, really. It's so it was Chrysaris instead of Humanris. Chrysaris. Ericris instead of Aramis. Ericris. That'll be in the episode. If this was the anthology TV show, we'd have to like
Tempe. What are they wearing for the show tonight? Are we doing
normal
that?
clothes jacket?
Normal clothes jacket. Yeah.
Racklesh will stay at the inn.
No, Rocklash doesn't want to go.
Nah.
Not feeling it.
He's got things to contemplate.
Things. Gonna go try and hunt down that Viking.
I want to wear a hat that I immediately have to take off because I'm not supposed to be wearing it.
Dimitri was like, I told you not to buy that hat.
It looks so nice. Can I say that I tried to invite that one kid?
Oh, you want to bring? I mean, if Rackledge isn't going to use his ticket,
yeah.
I would love to throw an awkward.
Steph comes, he's like sitting there with them all.
So the camera pans over our row where it's all of us, and then it gets to Ravi, and next to him is.
Now it turns out Rackledge wanted to go.
Is like a politician. We've just brought him out to the theater with like his congressman.
It turns out Rackledge actually wanted to go, but then Ravi was like, "Yes, we have an extra ticket," and he was like, "Oh."
Wow, an extra ticket.
All right. Oh, Tippy's back.
Cheryl, why'd you say this to me directly?
I don't know.
I feel like everyone could enjoy this.
And so
we're doing too much talking tonight.
No, it's good. It's fine. It's kind of one of those episodes. It kind of feels
it's been so long since we've just sat together.
Yeah, it's they're having a good time. They're doing their thing. And so they prepare to go out that night. And if Rackledge actually wants to sit back, I imagine that Azariel can get him in, no problem.
Azariel can probably get him a body if he wants to eat someone tonight.
Probably. So they don't even go. They walk and they see this beautiful like interest in this theater, Ebony's Palace, but they don't. They arrive on carriages, and as it opens up, you all get out. But it's not like a red carpet. You guys go down a dark alley, lined full of those figures with the wolf masks, and they take you in through the back, which is kind of like through the kitchen as they're like cooking, and up some stairs to this little balcony that's connected to a suite. And there you all sit waiting for the show to start. Now, I will say, on your way in, you're able to get, as you kind of come out of the kitchen and before you go up those stairs, you can see the main lobby. You can see like where people are getting their tickets and all the regular common folk are coming in, or even not common folk. People, there's probably some ritzy folks here. Can I get a perception check from everyone?
30.
Jesus, you
230, second 30.
Can I hide anything? I literally have to make DCs at 35 for you to miss anything at this point.
Well, I literally can't reach a 30.
Fucking Wolfman is walking around like, you smell that? You see that? Like, his like hairs are like. I should make you roll a disadvantage because Steph is with you.
You're right. I'll do it. 22.
28 for Rakalesh.
Okay, so 28, 30 for some for Ravi. You did decide not to go, Rakalesh, because you would have been able to go. But if you decide not to go, then what is Rakalesh? Okay, so we don't exclude you, Rakalesh. What do you spend the evening doing, man? What do you look when you say you have things to do? Is that something for the DM? Is that something you want to share? What is he planning? What is, or is it something like secretive?
I already sent you some DMs about a timeline.
Oh, I think you probably sent those a while ago. Then I'd have to find them. You mind sharing them with me again, or I'm scrolling right now. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, I'm not always necessarily looking at the chat. Let's see.
That's where we plan all of our battles at, where Malcolm can't see.
Yeah, literally just.
I do love this theater.
In Ebony's Palace, instead of clouds, it's underwater.
Yes. Oh, and then the seashell theme. Very Atlantis.
Okay. I didn't already send you the answer to that.
You did, but when you use that spell, there's a time limit for when that is still the answer.
Got it. Let me look at what I said. And the way they responded was the same. It hasn't changed. It didn't change in that 3 days. So what I shared with you was like what you got back. Do you remember what that was, or should I send that again?
Yep.
Okay.
I remember the outcome.
Yeah.
And I wasn't recasting the spell. It's by the spell's definition.
Yeah, it's the spell's duration.
Within 7 days.
Yeah. So nothing changes. Actually, let me make a roll real quick here.
There's more like he wants to make that decision, but at the same time, he wants to consult others.
Okay.
That are also of other higher powers.
So can I have an insight check from you, and I will send you something based on what you roll?
That's 16.
Okay. All right, I just sent that to you. Lenore's all excited, looking over the balcony at like all the wonders and the people in all their like clothes. And when she gets up there, and I will say that what you notice, even Rakalesh notices, is that there's a kind of a tap room, and it's kind of built into where people can come in and get drinks. And there's this big hulking, imagine Rakalesh notices the big red dragonborn, even though he's not a lizard man. He's not kind of not really serving the drinks, but like but kind of overlooking the room, making sure that there's a couple doors and humans who are serving. He's like, no, not that one yet. That he's kind of seems to be managing, walking around. And then Ravi notices in a little side room as they're about to go up the stairs that there's an office, and it's cracked, and there is what we would call the description of Aramis talking to some other folks and saying, we're expanding. We've just signed the papers we need to go check on our location in Waterdeep. We're going there, talking like logistics and just business stuff.
I'm talking location.
Yes,
location. It's all about location.
And so those things are happening, kind of getting a feel for who runs this place as you get up to the second level when you relax. And the Aramis fellow kind of looks, that kind of scar on his face, and looks towards the door just as Zario or Grey Wolf passes, led by you all. But Grey Wolf wears a kind of masquerade mask at all times, gloved at all times when he's here at the theater, and goes up the steps. There you sit down, and Lenore kind of looks to Tempe kind of looking like, what? Like, seems inquisitive. What is this? And then to Ravi, I don't know if there's anything I share with her, but
so they're gonna put on they're gonna tell us a story.
And I imagine there's kind of like little signs that Tempe's starting to teach her that like work. Yeah. Imagine he's teaching her his language, right? Where she's like,
that's exactly.
So she's like, story? Like, this is gonna. And she says, happy story.
He says that we'll have to see, but even if it's not happy, we're here with you.
And then there's like these little like presentation, I can never say it, like fireworks go off, and the curtains drop, and they're on stage. What do we see? You all tell me.
We see waving in like an artificial prestidigitated breeze, these red flowers that seem to glow from within. The sky is red, even like sort of dying sparks are slowly falling like snow across the stage as this party of very, very A-list actor looking adventurers in like over the top, like theatrical armor slowly walk out onto the stage. The band is picking up, probably because Aramis is a piece of shit. He's a peacock. He's going to show up himself on the corner, and he's going to be the narrator for this production. But he is going to introduce in a booming, prestidigitated voice. We all remember using a fake, not his real accent, because he wants to impress the moneyed folk. So he's going to be upper crusty twit, and he's going to be introducing. We all remember the destruction that came upon our poor city 10 years past. These are the heroes that saved us, and this is their trial and tribulation in the plain of fire. And all the flowers. It's like very, it's like a mix of Shakespearean plus like just a Marvel movie. It's half, every time he steps out on the stage, it's Shakespeare. And then as soon as he steps off, they're all doing backflips, and it's marvelly. There's quips.
Like Cirque du Soleil meets. So yeah, it's great. I want to hear maybe everyone describe a moment from the play. So Dimitri has opened. You don't have to, but I think Dimitri is open if you're willing to, if you want to. I think it's pretty cool to hear what other moments that you might want to inject that the audience sees in this play, that Lenore sees in this play, from this tale of this past group.
I do want to take that moment from when they're climbing the chains up to Adramelech's palace, but instead of Aramis slipping off, it's Ebony, and she's holding on. So it's Penelope Cruz calling up to Crescenta with me, and I'm like, "Oh, Aramis, help me! You're like the brother I never had."
I love it. Maybe Tempe stepped away. It looked like Amnon stepped away too.
I can't think of a good Killjourn. I can't do it. Not worth
Killjourn
it.
wasn't
What's
there.
your
Boo.
Yeah, what's your boo moment?
I mean, Boo did swallow a fireball and then spit it back out.
That is true.
That's true.
I mean, I forgot about Boo.
Boo is played by Killjourn.
Amnon, this is also a perfect time to give us a Drax moment, either in the play or a Drax moment.
No.
there in the
Aramis,
building.
when Aramis wrote the play, he also forgot about Boo. He wrote Killjourn. Yeah.
It's just Killjourn. It's just Killjourn in the Plains of Fire.
It's Killjourn's head turns into 360 like an owl a bunch of times, and he freaks people out.
Or he has like a robot like owl on his shoulder all the time.
So good. No, the Black Dragonborn's head spins on a 360. It's so much funnier. And it freaks people out.
Then Aramis comments to Killjourn's like, "Is your neck okay after all that?"
How about anything from you, Amnon,
looking at Lenore, he's
from the Drax perspective in that story or in that play?
I don't know. Just takes a sip of beer and charges at a dragon that's like way too big for him to charge at.
Nice. And Raklesh, even though Raklesh is not there, is there Kenneth? What might he share about what he sees from that character's story? From Kenneth at all? No.
I'd say for Kenneth, it'd be just being a reliable shield of blocking and intercepting.
Just blocking everything.
I mean, Kenneth it's probably, you know what they do? They probably do it so that it's like there's multiple guys playing Kenneth. So one Kenneth pops up, blocks a shot, goes down under the stage. On the other side of the stage, a different dude dressed as Kenneth pops up, blocks another shot, so he's everywhere.
I love it. And the whole story on the third act comes to this, like after the intermission, comes to this climactic like battle with like flares and fluff and magic, where the stage changes 3 separate times, and so does the villain.
The big animatronic playing the first stage of Adramelech is pulled apart to reveal a second smaller actor underneath.
There's a couple people that have gone to the front to complain that the guy playing the tiefling is not actually a tiefling and is wearing like red makeup, and that's not appropriate.
Wow, Aramis. Wow, Aramis.
Good tiefling talent is hard to come by. Okay?
He's actually wearing. It's actually not even a tiefling. He's supposed to be playing the genie, the Ifriti.
The Ifriti.
That is fine. Yeah.
I have a lot of casting power. Oh, I don't have that much.
But overall, it's a good night, and Baldur's Gate hasn't been so bad to this group. And they have kind of found something here, and I'll just ask you to share maybe what they might do. What ends up happening is within the next 24 hours, you are notified that that within a day, that morning, there will be a boat going, and that a council is called, because the council is going to be like in 2 days' time, so with enough time to travel there and get situated and be back in Waterdeep. And Azariel takes this as like, this is all like godsend. This is all like happening perfectly. and so he is prepared. He is ready. Is there anything else that would they want to stay here and really spend more time in Baldur's? If not, how do they condense their time in Baldur's and share with me the things they might have done in the next day, if anything? Otherwise, they will be preparing to head out, maybe to come back another time.
Does Ravi ghost this kid, or does Ravi have to tell him that the job is demanding? He's got places to be. It's not him.
Let's have an advantage charisma check for that night to see how the night went with the.
I guess, yeah, that's a good question. 14.
Okay, you're still. So this entire time, Steph has started to. You feel like he is. You clearly know that you all have a connection. He seems to be awestruck by you, and I don't know if Ravi's used to that, but
no, not at all.
He's kind of infatuated and very happy, and you get to this point where you now know you're leaving in a day, and he's like, so what are we gonna do next week? How do we he's already trying to plan things to do.
God, he's acting like we're married.
Yeah. It's not that intense. It's just more like he's
for Ravi.
To Ravi, it probably feels like that.
Yeah, he's like, oh God. Dimitri, what do I do? I feel like he just won't. He won't stop.
Okay, so there's two ways you can do this. You can either let him down easy, tell him that you think he's better off without you. He's got more options, better off, or you say you're going to meet up with him sometime tomorrow, and then you don't show up, and then you never speak to him again.
I'm gonna roll to see what I would do.
I'm like, both options have worked for me in the past.
Roll.
We'll just do charisma check. We'll say above a 10. He does the right thing and is like, listen, it's not gonna work out. Under 10, he flakes. Oh, he goes and he talks to him, and he's like,
good. I'm so proud of you.
I travel the world. I'm very busy at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm focusing on my career.
On your career, you're really focused. No, you need to make it about how he's better off without you. You need to say that you're worried that you're going to hold him back.
We pick up on the docks as like that, like it's like morning where the sun is just cresting the horizon, and you can tell that like we're watching for a moment. Dimitri like coaching, probably like, go ahead, get it done. And at the end of the docks is this young guy, Steph, who's kind of standing there, his hair kind of blowing in the wind.
We can be friends though,
and he can already tell it was kind of coming, and he's like, I knew you had to go. I just thought you might stick around a little longer. Thanks for making me feel like a somebody for a few days.
You are somebody.
I'll never be like you and your group, off on big adventure, and but I don't want to hold you back.
We'll cross paths again.
Understood. Well, if you ever come back, I'll make sure you at least have the suite. I'll make sure they comp it for you a couple nights.
Oh.
Here, he goes, well, at least I dabble with alchemy. It's not much. It's just a healing potion, but I grew the herbs. I grew the herbs and I made it myself. Hopefully it works in a time of need.
Thank you, and then I'll give him a goodbye hug.
They hug, embrace there with the kind of sun slowly rising. Some of the sailors kind of being like, "We gotta go, come on." Zariel, they're standing on the deck with all his men, looking out. Seeing them embrace, also seeing the group that he has, and thinking about someone special to him. And so as they all climb onto the ship and plan to head out, are there any last remarks before they, or any shares from any of you else before they kind of take off and sail?
Yes. Did you see my DM that I sent a while ago? Because that would have happened that night.
Okay. Can you temper that? If your god told you to temper that for your, take it as this, your divination, your god tells you when to, and you now know when to make that move. Is that fair?
Alrighty.
Okay. Just because I didn't see that. That would have changed things for sure. And so they are all heading back to Waterdeep. They've had a little bit of an opportunity to see parts of the world, to travel, to be on the world with each other. Can I have an insight check from everyone?
16.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 16 too.
I got a 17.
Whoa.
Oh, so close.
Hold on, almost there.
24.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
All right, I've got the highest being a 24. I got mostly everyone else being like a 16 or a 17.
I got an 11.
24 from Rakalesh.
Double digits.
Yeah, thank you. Double digits. Yes.
As someone who has rolled many a single digit in my day.
I know. I'm being reminded why I stopped using D&D Beyond for rolls.
Rakalesh, can I'm gonna send you a message.
Dice God hates D&D Beyond. Dice God spits upon it.
You're right. I gotta find my dice. Are they?
Although I swear there was a session in the last campaign where I rolled like 4 or 5 20s.
Nat 20s.
Yeah, right. I think I rolled like a bunch on D&D Beyond.
It was like, yeah, like in the finale.
Yeah, but I don't know how to hack
dude.
things like you do.
That's right. I forgot my hack. That's right. You're not supposed to tell everybody.
Oh shit! Sorry. Whoops. I mean, my insight's real low. I'm lying.
Says the guy who needed help setting up his damn computer today.
All
from
right,
like
and
17
so the highest insight check was what? Who had the
Rakalesh
highest?
with a 24.
Okay, so it was the
24.
second highest.
Demetria?
Demetria.
For once, it was me.
Right?
Demetria, I need a perception check from you.
Oh, Jesus.
Only you and no one else.
Don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
I felt Malcolm look directly at me through the.
And especially, I don't like that because I got a 12.
Oh. Okay. And so, as you all set off into that early morning, the crisp air hitting the seagulls flying overhead, as you all are kind of sitting there, little Lenore at some point stands and like closes her eyes and kind of, not super cheesy style, but not like she's on the edge of the ship. She's like in the middle of the ship, but she like puts her hands out, like feeling the wind roll through her hair, blowing her hair, and the wind kind of like really picks up, and like all these like kind of sparkles of air began to move around the ship, almost like pushing it a bit further. And you start to see like in the distance like dolphins like, you know, kind of jump, like running with the ship, and you all get the feeling this is like magic happening here. and then she like kind of collapses to her knees and like opens her eyes as like, you know, Tempe or Ravi are next to her catcher, and she just smiles, and we'll crash to black and end there. Good game.
Malcolm, if you do anything to this kid, I am going to drive up to your place.
Hey, we gotta smile though. We gotta smile, so it may not be bad.
But he's doing that. He's doing that so we get attached. He's doing that.
We're already attached.
That's true.
We're already attached.
That was adorable. That was very cute.
Good game. Good game.
Good game. That was very cute.
I want to collect all the children like Pokemon.
I think we're gonna. I think that's what
all
we're
all the demon children. I want all the demon children.
Well, because she looks human, right? She has.
She looks human. She has like.
So the next one we're gonna get is gonna be a tiefling, and then after that we're gonna get a dragon.
Yeah. We collect 5 flavors of kid, and then they release
one for each of us. One for each of us. We're gonna get a little lizard kid.
Oh, we got a little lizard kid, yeah.
Because there's 5 of us.
Could you imagine a little teenager lizard kid or a little lizard kid, a little 7-year-old lizard kid? That'd be super cute.
That would just be who's the little purple dude from My Little Pony? The little dragon boy. The little dragon boy.
Whatever. There wasn't. Oh, that's like Spike. The new cartoon, right? There wasn't.
Yeah, the new one, Spike. I think his name was Spike.
Yeah.
That's Rockalesh's little lizard man child that we're gonna pick up later.
That'd be amazing.
You forget lizard men aren't happy or emotional at all. So it'd just be like a mini Rakalesh.
That would also be very fun, having a mini Rakalesh.
That would be actually pretty fun too, though.
He's like the one serious kid. This little gaggle of they're all holding hands and skipping, singing songs together.
He's like eating smaller children.
He's like eating squirrels.
Yeah. I'm glad we had this conversation.
I am so worried about this kid. I'm worried about what the council's gonna want to do with this kid, because if the kid,
I'm worried how we broke Malcolm's game tonight and didn't fight and didn't drag this game out for another hour and a half.
I mean, we dragged out the play for quite
you don't fight. If you don't fight, you don't fight. That's no sweat off my back.
Man.
If you didn't want to fight, you didn't want to fight. That's not a problem.
That fight would have took us forever.
I wanted to fight so badly.
It was the wrong thing to do. It was the wrong thing to do at that moment.
Do you guys think so? That's the first time you guys are suddenly like, it's the wrong thing to do. I've seen you guys fight things where I was like, this is the wrong thing to do.
Well, it's like when
the wrong thing to do.
Here's the problem, Malcolm. The problem is that Tempe always thought it was the wrong fucking thing to do. Always.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, but now, to be honest with you, you probably would have just mopped the floor with those guys. You know, like
1,000%. No, for sure. They were nothing. They were like little ones, right? It was one big dude and the other rest of them was schmucks. But the problem is there was no catalyst for Tempe to ever say no.
Right. And now there was this moment where
now he has a reason to be reasonable.
Yeah.
Prior to this, like, he don't give a fuck. He's by himself. He just loves chicks. He's gonna fuck everybody up, right? Till he could, well, not they, you know what I mean.
But then once
I also wanted them to be able to explore water deep, but then they had this kid with them everywhere they went, so they wouldn't like do anything other than like be with this kid.
Yeah.
Like,
and we were like, oh, we can't go to the red light. We would have loved the red light district before we had this kid.
Yeah,
we would have hung out there. We would have gone to the bathhouse.
I was like, I thought they were gonna try to like offload. They were like, "Can you go watch the kid? We'll go over here." Like, so they like make people babysit.
It's ours.
No, they like, none of that. So it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
I feel like the only person we could really let babysit her is like Stagat, but that she might kill him. So I also wouldn't want to do that.
That's so funny. That's a fanfic.
We'd come back. He'd be strung up somewhere. It'd be amazing.
We come back. He's like, no. We come back. He's gone full dad mode. He's got the jogging stroller. You know, he's.
Yeah, this is character development episode, which is like just great. I like it. They're just kind of like exploring.
I have to give you like the most epic gold star that you have managed to completely 180 my opinion on Azariel. That you have completely. I don't know how. Well, I know how you did it. You did it because I basically just made him. This is my new character, Azariel. He's like, there's someone I've hurt that'll probably never forgive me. And Demetria's like, yeah, there's people I've hurt that'll probably never forgive me.
Yeah, like I kind of like saw him as similar to her, so I was like, oh, that could be really interesting if he's
like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
Both
but what's so funny, I'll tell you this, before we started this campaign, I knew Azario went on to do bigger, better things. Like that was always the goal behind that last I remember like thinking about him a lot after Storm Kings. I was like, okay, if we ever go back to Baldur's, he's like turned over a new leaf, but he's a higher position. I don't know exactly what he does, but he's trying to figure some things out.
You know what's funny? Because ages and ages ago, I wrote that I wrote pieces of that like continuation, like post-campaign fan fiction, where it was us fixing up theater.
Yeah.
And like Drax was there and everyone else was there, and I didn't end up finishing it. It was supposed to end, and I have like a little bit written at the end where it's that one problem is we're rebuilding the theater, is that we have to pay extortion money. And the problem is we don't have the money to pay the extortion because we're trying to fix up the theater, and I gave away that coin. But Azariel steps up and he says, you don't have to worry about the extortion money.
That makes total sense now. Like,
yeah,
that's
and Aramis is like last words with him are like, what's your game? And then Azariel looks back and says, I have a debt that needs paying. And that's like the last interaction that they have in like my own fan fiction of them.
I love when this stuff like kind of just works out. It's really that's cool. That's cool.
I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. I'm gonna be thinking about that for the next couple of days. This was really good. I enjoyed this. I would have liked to fight, but
I know. I wasn't gonna like. There was a point where it was like I could roll a couple of random encounters, and I was like, it just seems so forced to just have another fight happen.
We're such like a domestic party that it makes sense that most of our shit would be semi-domestic.
There's moments where it's like this party doesn't really need a fight, like it's just like if they're, I imagine there's fights you can go looking for in Baldur's, but you guys didn't really hang out in those places. You kind of went once you met him. If you didn't, you did decide to go to the. So, I was like, I don't want to push it. I don't think it really serves the overall story right now. And they really were trying to keep Lenore out of trouble. So that makes
you're like, I've solved. You can go on Reddit and be like, I solved my murder hobo problem. I gave them a child.
Give them a child to something they care, and then they're like, we don't want to fight. No.
Give them an innocent child, the one they don't want to scar.
Yeah.
And I also love that the Magnus shield. That's also really cool. I like that. That buckler. The whole now that you have a shield. What you have like more slots, so you don't have to up your armor or something in combat, or did you just want it? Because I thought you said something about how you get to use more infusions now. Or
actually, it's a plus. The average shield is a +2, so this would be a +3 shield. That's what it would be.
Great!
Nice
shit.
Thank you. So basically, so after the werewolf fight,
because the +1 is the magic, the shield is
all shields are
a +2, so it's a +3 shield.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes it a +3. It's because it's got a +1. The average shield is a +2. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I added. So basically, after the werewolf fight, I had a discussion. Amnon had a discussion with Tempe about building him a sword. But I had to let go of one of my infusions in order to do that. So I let go of one of my my armor infusions.
There we go. Okay.
And so after I did that, I sent Sean the stat saying like, okay, you have an infused sword now. So now he has a magical weapon.
Nice. Oh, so now he can do damage on things. Weapons. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
We're slowly upping our magical stuff.
And his is always magical.
It's always magical until 2 days after Amnon dies.
No, but we're not gonna let that happen. That's not happening.
To Malcolm as well.
Note to self.
Yeah, that's fun because it's a magical shield. That means that the stuff like the oozes and the acid isn't going to damage it. Like my armor didn't get damaged when we were fighting that shambling thing in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Like Amnon now is a gunner with an AC of 17.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm
Malcolm's immediate regret.
Yeah,
it's gonna ramp up.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
especially with these episodes where y'all don't want to fight them. It's like, all right. It's like now, like next episode has to be like fight from jump. No, well, y'all always say y'all want to fight. I feel like last episode y'all wanted to fight, but then we really didn't. I had those little werewolf combat.
Oh, we couldn't fight the last. We
were so beat up.
Right?
Yeah, y'all didn't want to push it.
I was so beat up. Speak for myself. I was very beat up.
Yeah. Well, I was also scared that someone was gonna get lycanthropy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Well, we all match. We all get lycanthropy together.
Well, lycanthropy is because Robbie doesn't have lycanthropy. Robbie was his ancestry, like one of his ancestors had lycanthropy, but lycanthropy is a curse. Like that could literally like rip your character away from you.
I retract my statement.
Yeah.
Because I remember Sean being like, "I want to be a wolf." I was like, "I don't know if you."
Yeah, because if he was true lycanthropy, when he changes, I would take control of him and make him attack.
Oh, I see.
He would attack villains until they go down, and then he would start attacking the party if they're down.
Yeah, I remember when I told Malcolm I wanted to be a werewolf, and he was like, "Well, listen."
I was like, "Yeah, man, you got to play. Yeah, this is the." So he's like, "Oh, I'm not really lycanthrope." I was like, "Okay, you're not lycanthrope. That makes sense. Okay, that's fine." That's why he also doesn't benefit from immunities. So yeah, there's none of that, so it makes sense.
What is happening? All right, y'all. I'm gonna head off.
All right.
A recharge from your Joshua free weekend.